We do the first one because you can't give me no full clear information because you don't know. We could go to NHT now. You say in the next 5 years, the NHT are going to build 45,000 houses. First
42.
question.
42,000 houses are on
That's
the
great. No, me no want
books
to explain. 42,000. That's good. Jalix, me no need none of that.
Next 5 years.
Jalix, listen, nobody make me get upset. Me no need none of that. You say 42, good. Did you ever get a chance to read the budget presentation for yourself? That's on the ministry.
The budget presentation, sir.
Okay.
I listen to the budget presentation.
So before you spread propaganda, on page 3 of the budget presentation that deals with NHT, the Prime Minister proposed that NHT this year going to build 10,000 houses, but only 5,000 will be available to be sold.
What's your point?
5,000. Page 3.
What's your point?
So if you build 10,000 houses and only 5,000, half of them is available. How is it that now when you build 40,000 houses, all of them will be available to the public when you only have 50% available to be sold?
I don't understand. What's your point though?
You said the Prime Minister says he's going to improve housing over the next 5 years. And NHT going to build 40,000 houses. And I just said to you, page 3 of the budget presentation tells you that NHT will build 10,600 houses. Only 5,000 will be available.
Mr. Alvaro, how housing construction is counted in the country? You have housing starts and you have housing completions. The NHT over the next, allow me to respond.
No, but me never give you no time. Are you a responding never to the question? Are you putting me time?
Is currently in the NHT is currently in
Jalix, you can't get in my time. Or you get in my time, I never asked you to explain it to me. Did I ask you to explain it to me?
You just asked me a question, you know. All right, I'll shut up.
I asked you how much houses NHT are built, and you mentioned 42. And I tell you where the information on page 3. So there's no way NHT built 10,600 houses, 5,000 available for sell. Then over the next 5 years, you build, because I say build 10,000 every year. Then half of them are available to be sold. So how is it that you help your housing market or shortage in the housing market you're talking about when you build 50,000 houses and only 25,000 available to sell? All the information over NHT, no? All it over NHT, PAN, NHT annual report. How much house they sold every year, how much, all of that over there. So you don't have to come and see the public. I can't tell you if you find the information. So you can move on to part 3 if you want, which will be fast. So explain to me now. You say fast, I got change the landscape at Jamaican business, I got bloom. Me want you explain to Falcon and the 31 away how that I go. If you know already, we don't have a process like that at Jamaica. What is the difference between what we have now versus what fast I can do and will be doing?
All right. First of all, so let's just explain how housing construction is done and quantified in Jamaica. You have what you call housing starts and you have housing completions, right? The plan that the government is pushing for is to be able to accelerate the amount of housing completions that will be able to be done on a particular year or over the next 5 years. And that is what's included in that is the government is going to be bringing in, because we do not have the capacity. We only have probably about 3 local companies that can build 2,000 houses within a year or 2 in Jamaica. We can, and probably Gore Homes that can build that amount. So what the government has started to do, the one in Mount Nelson Mandeville, one of those contractors are in now. It's a Chinese contractor, and they're bringing in other Chinese contractors that can take on these large-scale projects and move the completions to a higher level, so you can actually have at least a 10,000 house being built in a particular year. And that is what the government is driving at, so that over the next 5 years, you're going to see a lot more houses coming on stream. They're also partnering a lot more with private developers, right? With the developers program that they have to bring more housing solutions to the market.
Alex.
These are solutions in the low to mid tier.
I like to respond to the thing we throw on the table. In a second.
Hold on, Alba. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. You have a minute. Go on.
Right. So you mentioned the matter of fast.
No, we don't want to go in a fast. You mentioned about yours. We don't want to go in a fast.
Question.
Well, I know.
You just asked a question.
Well, I know, Falcon. Well, I know, Falcon. I mean, Jalix, you mentioned something about our NHT, and we need to respond and close out that.
All right.
Here, question me, I go ask you. Did you read the book where Prime Minister gave to after 3?
I have copies.
Okay, great. You have a copy with you now? You have a copy with you now?
Just go ahead, no man, and stop your semantics.
So on page 35, did the Prime Minister say over the next 5 years, it will build 95,000 houses?
Listen.
No, did the Prime Minister say that in the book?
Make a distinction between.
No, well, no, Jalix, did the Prime Minister say that? Yes, or no?
And let me answer.
That's all me
What the 95,000 houses is to bring that to the market, both in terms of the facilitating from private investors or private developers, but from the NHT, the number from the NHT is the 42,000. So the 95 would include bringing at least 100 because right now, what the Prime Minister said is that based on the studies that have been done, let me finish now. Based on the studies that have been done, the housing market is short between 100 and 150,000 housing solutions right now, so that it can stabilize prices and bring prices.
Yeah, man, me know all of that, Jalix,
so
but me have a part.
The plan is to bring at least 100,000 housing solutions.
Jalix,
to the
me
market,
hear all of that. Me don't need that. Me don't need that.
Between
Jalix, I don't need that.
Jalix is going to bring our private.
Jalix, all right.
I don't need that.
I don't need that.
So you can acknowledge, say, when me read and when Prime Minister say 95,000 houses, and the same page, did the Prime Minister say NHT and HAG are going to build those houses?
No.
Me not asking.
I understand.
No, what you understand?
That is not.
No, me know why you understand. Why you go on the page? It depends on the page.
Is not that.
Yeah. So we are saying
my information.
So what you're saying,
right
what's on the book is a lie?
As far as I'm going off what we know the NHT
no,
is
but
working
me,
off
Jalix,
right now.
Jalix, make me stop.
NHT
Jalix,
in different stages of completion right now.
Jalix, make me stop.
Listen,
make me stop, Jalix. Jalix, me ask if you have the book, and you say yes.
In semantics.
Jalix, me ask if you have the book.
95 or 45.
Jalix, that's not the question.
The government is committed.
Jalix, we don't want to hear that.
To increase the amount of housing in the market over the next 5 years. Whether it is whatever number is needed.
Jalix, we don't want to hear that.
Jalix, him say no one hear that part. All them want to be fair, him ask if you have the book. I say yes. I'm not telling people the pages them now inside the book. And him ask the question. So it should be difficult to answer.
Listen, Falcon. We getting bogged down into small, minute.
No, Jalix.
That is not important right now. What is important right now? What is important is whether the Prime Minister
is doing
the right thing by trying to drive growth in the country. By increasing the housing stock. And that is what the Prime Minister is trying to do.
It's all mashup, Jalix. The man asks a question, answer him.
You confirm, say 95,000.
I just answer him.
I know. But you know
him that what the Prime Minister mentioned, we're talking about the budget. We're talking about the budget. The Prime Minister mentioned.
Jalix, easy, Jalix. Just relax. Alvaro and then you answer.
The next question is, you confirm, say you see 95,000 homes. Just like what the Prime Minister said. But as me tell you, say, you got to party reach your HAJ and NHT, or as per what Prime Minister said in the Parliament. So about what Prime Minister have in the book? That's important again. That's important again, Jalix.
What is the point of all that?
That means say you said well, I know you come here and say Prime Minister will get investor from overseas.
Come on, man. That's what you the fact is, the government's plan is to have at least 50,000 houses completed right now. The NHT allow me to respond now. The NHT is
You're not giving me a chance to
currently
respond.
involved in at least 50,000 housing solutions. It's 42. Them hoping to complete at least that over the next 5
All right, where you
years.
get that
That
information?
would be
Can
the
we ask you-
largest amount. Let me finish. That would be the largest amount of housing
No,
that
I'm
has
asking
been
where you
built
get
in the
information.
country
I
Where you
just
get
want
the
to know
information?
any 5-year period.
No,
It's
hold
in
on,
the,
hold
it's
on,
in the budget.
Just tell the man where you get information. That's him
The
asking. Ask
information is
specific
in the
question.
Prime Minister's budget presentation that he did.
What page? What page?
Listen, what kind of nonsense that?
Well, I know, you want me to say
Who is
that
going
to
to
you?
know what page the
Well, I
Prime
know,
Minister's
Jalix,
presentation
well, I
is?
know.
Man, cut
Well,
the shit, man. Just go
well,
under housing, under the housing
Jalix,
section. The Prime
Jalix.
Minister said the NHT is currently involved in over 42,000 housing solutions as we speak. They are in different stages of completion. It's in his presentation, right? Can I know, please? I would love to ask.
No, you
Alvaro,
can't ask me because you
please.
don't reach
I must
you
can
don't
ask
reach
you a
fast
question.
yet. We don't
I
clear
need to
up
ask you a
fast yet.
question. No, you're the
Well, I know, sir.
my thing. I need to ask you a question.
Jalix, you
You
can't
need to
ask
tell
me any
me,
question.
tell me one. I'm not even asking for two. I'm asking you for one growth-inducing strategy that was introduced into the
No,
the
minority if you answer
debate
that
by the
question.
opposition.
No,
I
you
want
have
one.
Jalix, well, I know.
say I just want
Jalix, you have to
one.
leave the platform, you know, because I guess what going.
I want one.
It don't
You
man,
ask
it don't
for
this
three,
we
and I
can't
give
give it.
you three.
We
You
only
give me
only
one.
discussed two. Me ask you a while ago if you explain fast. And you go mention NHT and me said to you.
Okay,
let me
explain fast. Let me explain
no,
fast.
listen the question me ask you.
Let me explain fast.
No, I don't want
You
to
asked the
explain.
question already.
Listen the question
go ahead.
before you explain. We already have situation where we have direct foreign investment in Jamaica. What different fast will bring and what legislation the government will put forth to ensure those same set objective is being achieved? That is the question being asked.
Okay. So as the Prime Minister announced that FAST is going to be run, FAST is going to be essentially be run out of the Ministry of Development, out of the Prime Minister's office. And it's going to be a dedicated team that is now going to be looking for all the potential investments that are over 150 million United States dollars, large investments that need to navigate the bureaucratic mess that is Jamaica when you have large projects. So everything to do with permits, to do with any matter that the government can assist an investor to get the project started. That FAST team is going to take up those projects and they're going to get those projects move through the system very quickly so that the projects can start over the next 1 to 2 years. So it is an effort of the government to get those projects, most of which are projects, some of which are projects that are in concept, have been developed already. It's just a matter of facilitating the process to get these projects moving through. So through that project alone, the government probably hopes that they can, you can get a $500 million in new investment to come through that pipeline. And
right.
that will
what you are saying is guaranteed. Hold on. This proposal that you're making. Jalix, is all this what information guaranteed?
What do you mean guaranteed? That is what they are putting in. So you have to put in, Falcon, if you want to get $500 million of investment over the country over the next 5 years, you have to do something. This is a deliberate act of the government to say, okay, we need to get these
but they can't say that can't materialize. Them can propose
why are we going to be cynical? So Falcon, are we here cheering for Jamaica? Right. Are we here cheering for Jamaica or we're not cheering for Jamaica? What we are doing here, the government is doing. Let me finish the man. What the government is doing is putting in a system, right? That will make Jamaica more attractive to these foreign investors. We're doing a deliberate act to say we're going to go there. we have this avenue for you to come in, and we are going to help you to get your business or your investment set up so that the government can benefit in the short term.
Okay,
That is
was
what
that a commitment of Mark Goldington? Also, all right, in this campaign, all right. Alvaro, go
there
ahead.
was no commitment. I didn't hear anything
right.
of that
right,
from
all
Mark
right.
Goldington.
Okay,
Nothing.
okay,
As no,
all
Alex, just stop and ask the man, make respond, man.
one thing that Mark Goldington mentioned
Well, I know,
was
Jalix,
road economy.
then I get the time, Jalix. Alvaro, your
So
time.
let me answer that question.
Well,
One thing, these two
Boy,
comments
me
tell me
can't
one
bother
thing
them.
that
Jalix, stop and ask the man.
Jalix, on your time now, your time. So Alvaro, go ahead now.
Yeah, great. So you mentioned say government are going to increase policy and get great investment, and it's going to be a game changer. The question we are going to put forth. When you took office in 2016, direct foreign investment was over 900 million Jamaican dollars a year. Now in 2024, in 2025 are not updated yet. It's less than 250 million. So automatically, direct foreign investment lose more than 65% of what usually been invested in Jamaica. So you are now saying, fast with the new plan, I go change you and send you back in a reverse direction. But me ask you a question. Is direct foreign investment go hand in hand with what go on globally? Is it a global impact where investor appetite goes with what go on based on the country, deserve and need? And next question me ask you, Jalix. Anti-favor, I want me to put to you. Did anti-favor say we can economy will grow 4 to 7%? When last the economy has grown over 3%, Jalix? Answer that question before me tell you. It's sad part of the story, so what you are saying? Not possible. When last the country grew over 3%?
Anti-favor's direct foreign investment comment was in relation to
no, the question me ask you. The question me ask you, Jalix. No, well, I know. The question I ask you, when last the country grew over 3%?
The country grew over 3% when we were recovering from COVID.
Jalix, that's not true.
Jalix, from COVID,
that's not
recovery.
True.
Listen, let me explain. Just give me 30 seconds.
No, me no want
when
to
she
explain.
spoke of,
well, I know.
let me explain.
Right.
When she spoke of growth,
when she said 30 seconds, give me 30 seconds.
Exactly, me understand. When she spoke of growth, Falcon. When she spoke of growth, when she spoke of growth, she spoke of growth in terms of recovery.
Yeah, man, that's why I them two people start out
30 seconds. Right. So when she spoke of growth, she spoke of growth. Falcon, let me explain. So we had Alvaro God. When she spoke of growth, let me just give me 30 seconds.
Jalix, you can't get 30 seconds out of my time.
She spoke of growth
you can't give me you start for 5 minutes.
Recovery.
Well, I know. I never asked you
but you
about
asked me question.
No, I asked you just when you hear. No, I don't want to answer you. Answer me want to give me already. I never asked you for no clarification of nothing. Because what you're going to clarify doesn't make any sense. The last time we go over 3% was from 2016, 2017. We has never go over that bridge again. So for you to say 2020, can I say you grow over 3% 2020? Why can't after COVID, when everything start bloom again, we can't even grow 3%? Is it that investor appetite deals the growth of the country? Me know you're going to come. Me know you're coming the factor say.
Hold on, Alvaro. Hold on. Hold on, Jalix. Hold on, sit down, wait, me was sitting there. Sit down, where you say?
Yeah, man. I say where Jalix really come for so I come try to justify and say no. You know, since you pay nonsense, you Jalix. No,
we don't get two of them talk for iron it out. Both political parties iron it something.
You are taking $11 billion a year out of the housing trust. Where you get money from for belows to poor people? You think investors come invest and build no 6 million or 5 million or 4 million house for poor people? They're not going to do that. And we are talking housing trust never build. We no investor come with the bill for the government, we build for poor people, Jalix. So we are coming to faster when I come in. Man, you go away with no foolishness, man. I wouldn't want to pull over people again.
All right.
No, man, you can't give me a permit and tell me
but we are trying to keep it. No, man. Nobody over there running nobody, man. Just relax, man. Just
But
relax.
me
man.
not cause
Keep it
I'm
simple.
not telling me
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know what
let's
them
keep it
use a
simple.
word
Keep
for
it
me.
simple.
Me never diss him, you know. Me not
No,
diss
it's
him.
all right.
No
Oh,
got
all right,
talk
cool.
plain.
Let's keep
Me
it.
said them me no man, you know say me not diss nobody for the program. I wait from
All
one
right,
woman.
cool. Go on, let's keep it.
See? But me no want jealous come out with foolishness and come with this and all Alvera tell him a try grow. Brethren, the last approach has similar growth. 2016, they saw 3 point something, right? Percent. And we not grow 1% after that yet. Right now we are 0.8.
All right,
See?
all right,
What?
all right,
So-
all right. Sydney. Well, we make Jolly
No, man, no, that
no, Jolly Salvar just finish up on the other man. Let them stick to them to ask some question between the two of them, man.
Yeah, but
Just want them finish.
let me talk and then them talk after, man, because no fear. Anybody
No, but
listening
hold on, no, them dip on a point to them and discuss, just let them finish off them point.
But I see him
Make him go on, Falcon. Make him go on, sir.
Yeah?
Make him go on.
All right,
Make him go on.
go ahead. Right.
So when Jollies come out and tell me about say about a foolishness that man, we not 0.8, you know, reach 1% yet. Not if you can't tell me with the whole me not talk, you take out 1 3 months or 1 2 months and say you grow this, you know. We are talking the annual growth. We don't lick 1% yet. Away from when Tosha thing growth come up, brother. So now come and try to tell people foolishness, brother. And I say no investor now come build no 6 million, 5 million, 4 million people of your poor people. You think I put your money come build their house for them the money their Jalix. Me know when you come the prime minister take out the money and do it in a different thing. Where you will get money from for Billy? You might go investor. Investor now come to that, brother. So people like we, and lesser than me, domestic helper, and them they bill for shoemaker, tailor, barber. And them people that here take, and them people that poor people. Yeah, but one thing going up so where they want housing thing at $20 million. $20 million. Where poor people could have get 50 buy them the house there. Eh? You don't know if you do them thing, them man. And come big up your chest and go and like say, boy, you not do something good. Don't do that, man. You get poor people ignorant, and when we go and bad now, who know say and who know do it. Yeah? That's not right, man. All right, so me need to know.
Okay.
All right.
Respond.
So, Jolly, so people respond to anything you want to say. Back to the argument.
Yeah, man. Let me respond to him, man. Me respond to him. A couple of things.
We are respond to. You
First
respond
of
to
all,
Sydney, you respond to Alvaro.
Sydney, man. Sydney.
You're afraid of Alvaro?
Me never remember what Alvaro did say.
You mean not remember? You mean not remember? Alvaro put some points here and you respond.
What point did he put? Me never remember what point.
No, but are you not the debate, man? You should remember what man asked.
No, man. We did done. Alvaro, we did.
But think you ask the time to go check out and come back.
Ask for time? Me never ask for no time. I mean, speak
All
last and then Sydney come in.
right. Respond to where you respond. Me now come. I look one side. Respond to where you want to respond to.
All right. So first of all, this $11 billion. Let's just remember that this $11 billion that we've been taking from the NHD started under the PNP, and then start taking it out first, right? And I personally have no issue with the government taking out the $11 billion out of the NHD. And what Sydney needs to understand is that the funds that the government is taking from the NHD is not funds that can adversely affect the operations of the NHD. Let me help Sydney with this. Each year, the NHD brings in from contributions and investments that the NHD has as well. Like them take some of the money and them invest it and things. The NHD bring in excess of $40 billion. Follow me now in a Falcon. $40 billion.
I hear, man. You explain. A lot of people are listening.
Right. When the PNP start taking out the cash, the $11 billion from the NHD in 2014, the NHD had cash reserves in excess of $120 billion sitting down and do not. The fact of the matter is the NHD cannot spend the amount of cash that it collects in any 1 year, no matter what them do, we'd have to go bring in about 10 different large scale and build 25 or 40,000 housing solutions a year. They cannot. So every year the NHT ends up with at least a $21 billion surplus every year. So after them say, okay, we are going to build 10,000 houses this year, and then appropriate the money for the 10,000 houses, and then pay their salary and do everything, they still have a surplus of $21 billion. And that means, you know, all that surplus does is it go sit down in our account and accumulate on last year's surplus. So this notion about we taking out money out of the NHT and it is affecting the NHT's ability to build housing is nonsense. Because NHT have cash reserves that it cannot spend. The PNP wants the government. Let me just finish.
All right.
Let me respond to you.
I respond to you. So,
first of all,
no problem.
It's still quite a while.
First of all, no, Jalix. When Portia take it out for 2 years, your prime minister walk out of parliament and take Portia to court and say it's a commitment. We will never go back into that again. And say that is a wickedness from the PNP government. Make the people know that. You take your government and your wholeness here. He was in opposition. Walk out of parliament and take the PNP to court. Say, don't dip your hand in NSP. It's for poor people and it's the people's money. So tell the people that first. Secondly, if you know Jalix or say that excess, that means the government is wicked because it shot a house to poor people. And if it did a build house and you have $20 or $30 billion sit down there and you shot a house to poor people, why you not believe the poor people then? That means you them a look money for thief or them wicked. Because it is there to build for poor people. And every year when you say you go build, you need $500 million more when you say you build. What is the problem? The money is there. The land is here. So what is the problem when I believe Jalix? That means the government wicked more how we think then. Because I never know so much money in Ethiopia. You are
respond.
Hold on.
Take time.
Don't cut me away. When me not be prime, don't cut me not be prime, brother. When me a lash out.
Other people are coming now to cut your brother.
Me just have finished.
But that's other people are cut you get a chance.
Yes.
So
Jalix, is a wickedness that. Because I'm not even not so much money in reserve like what you say. They want to build the houses and for poor people, Jalix. And you tell me a while ago, you say how much more 20 billion put on after you take out the 11 billion. So we had money stored up there for cost the PNP said it was 100 billion. And now you have surplus and 1 billion house to the people.
All right, Sydney, all right. Hold on, Sydney. Sydney, all right. Hold on. What up, brother? Kick your words. When you kick Stan Green, what you have to say?
All right.
Man, Jalix, respond to me first, man. No,
Sydney. Hold on a Sydney. Can we just add to what you said, Sydney? Jalix, I hate when people do some dirty, nasty, stinking things when them do it. Nah, this nobody, but when they eat it. You know what I mean, Jalix? You and your prime minister are the biggest hypocrite in this country. Before you, is only since the prime minister coming in power. The $20 billion sit down, now do nothing. Only when the prime minister coming up power, the $20 million sit down there, it was sitting down there from Portia days. Portia going at it, I want to significantly say it is robbing the poor people.
I said that. You know.
The man just
I said it was
Jalix, you said, you clearly said, Jalix, that the money is sitting on there since them coming up power. It's sit there. Wasn't it sitting there when Portia didn't have power? Or when Portia going at you guys?
It was there when Portia was there. It was there. I said that. I said
okay. So hold up. Why was that problem?
That is why they put
Jalix, hold up. Why was it a problem when Portia going at it? But no, it's not a problem that the prime minister are digging at it now. And when Portia going at it, it never stopped from building house. As you said, but no, that the prime minister in it, it's still not stopped. Why the big problem then?
Jalix, hold on.
Let me answer.
Hold on. So Jalix, you have 2 questions to answer. One from Sydney, one from Kestan. Alvaro, go ahead now.
Which are pretty much the same. So first thing.
All right, so it's okay to answer the question.
Well, I'll give Jalix my time because reason me Jalix. Just hold on, Jalix.
Well, I know, Jalice, well, I know.
I want to hear your answer because you mentioned something boy Prime Minister do. And I'm going to take you back to a here. And I'm going to see if you answer you provide to Sydney and Keston, if you do remember that here. But take your time and go ahead now.
All right, go ahead, Jalice. You have the time.
So first of all, let me I'll be the first to admit that what happened in 2014, I didn't agree. Of course, yes, it was not probably right to go into the NHT, but when you really look on the opportunity cost of whether or not we should go and borrow an additional 10 or 11 billion dollars, or you should use cash reserves that that a state agency has, and we could now not have to go borrow on that. That was the right thing to do. So what the Prime Minister's position then was obviously a political position that he took, and it was not the correct position. So I'll be the first to say that it was not the correct position. If you have, I am not going to go back and say that. If you have cash, because part of the issue that came about during that section, that time when we were trying to get our books in order, is that we had a number of a number of government agencies that had a lot of cash sitting down on their balance sheet.
All right, but we are saying the same thing over. So you agree with the three people, and you agree with Alvaro, Sydney, and Keston?
No, I agree. I agree that there was no
all
issue.
Right,
with
fine.
That's
move
what
on.
I said.
Move on.
All right,
so Jolly, since as you agree.
Let me finish. Let me just say
this. But guys, you agree, we are going to explain. I agree.
Which is why just give me 30 seconds. Just give me 30 seconds. So which is why I'm saying no. That at this point, it is not hurting the NHT's ability to deliver houses to the market. It is not, right? What is the issue in the country? As I said earlier, is that we do not have what them call the absorptive capacity in the construction industry to take on 15,000, 20,000 houses, because we do not have the labor, the contractor capacity to do that. So it doesn't make no sense you have the money sitting down at the NHT. You can use it.
Up now. All right, hold on.
If you can use it, it's better to use it.
Hold on, we have to put everybody a chance. Tiny, have anything to say? We see another box.
Yeah, man, I just good morning, each and everyone. I just want to ask Jollies, it is fair to you to the Prime Minister taking out the money out of NHT, building houses for 30 and 20 and 50 million, where the poor people them can't pay, the people who are supposed to have benefit from the housing trust, it's people who money are come out and go in a housing trust, so when they reach certain points, they can get a house for themselves. Isn't it fair? But I can remember Mama P was going in that same kitty, and your Prime Minister told her, don't put her sticky finger in it. So why he come and put in his sticky finger in it now? Is that fair? And people want to
admit,
yes.
But you're repeating the same point that Kingston just said. I just admitted that Prime Minister was
that's what I wanted to answer. But since he said it, I still say what I have to say. Answer me.
Let me just get the point. We get the point. Get the point.
Let me just respond to something else what she said. The highest cost housing solution that the NHT was involved in were units for somewhere in the region of $22 million. The one that it was, which is Root Ventures apartment, the apartments at Root Ventures, was a project that was conceptualized and the land was acquired and the designs and everything was put in. It was actually was being developed by the NHT starting as
That's
early
not
as
what I
2013.
Come on, man, you want to go to
Wait,
Yes
let
or
me
no?
finish.
People don't
Let
spoil
me
it, you
finish.
know.
No,
Tiny,
you're
why you
not
All right,
interrupting
all
me?
right,
Let me
answering
just
all right.
finish.
the
In response, all right.
The
question.
Roosevelt
Respond.
Towers
Hold on,
apartments that
hold on,
was
hold
sold.
on, hold
The
on, hold
Roosevelt
on, hold
Towers,
on. We'll clear
it
that
was
part. Hold on, we'll clear
conceptualized
that
by
part.
the NHT
Let's
in
it have a second try. Like I
2013
see
under the
now go over the
PNP.
same thing over and
The
over and
only thing
over.
that we did
Hold on,
was
no, Alex, man.
complete the
It's all right
project.
to answer them thing there. Just hold on,
Okay.
Anybody
All right.
else? Hold on.
So
Any
we
other
can.
issues? Anything else? Alvaro, you want to say something?
Okay,
No.
great, Jalix. So since as you acknowledge, sir, you never agree with the Guana, it was a bad move. But it was not a bad move, Jalix.
I can't mute him
So,
because
Jalix, your question meant for action now. Me see if you're going to answer a question correctly before me point you to how we reach in a NHT money. What caused the government to go into the NHT to take out the money to support budgetary support? What caused it?
Alex, where?
What caused the government to go into the NHT?
To take out the money for budgetary support.
Because
the first time it was done.
Because as I said, it was when we in that section we were kind of cleaning up the books of the government.
No, Jalix, no.
You're going to give me 30 seconds to answer.
Okay, provide the answer. Go ahead.
I can provide the answer.
So when they did that, they did when they did an audit of the amount of cash that goes.
The more you tell me here when they do audit, I explain to you.
They had several government agencies, the NHT being one, that had significant cash reserves on their books. And rather than go and borrow on the international markets at interest rates where we have to go pay back, it was thought to be the most sensible thing to have a lot of these entities that have cash sitting on their books transferred to the consolidated fund, so that we did not have to expose the country to additional borrowing. So that is the answer to the question.
Hold on, Jalix. Him said that is not what he
wants. Jalix, the question I asked you, why did the government Mr. Sidney, mute your mic, man. The question I asked you. All right, go on talk. You didn't go on talk.
No, but you're talking
Mr. Sidney, just cool on Mr. Sidney. Just relax, Mr. Sidney.
One man pick me out, brother. Go and talk, I'm not trouble, I'm not gonna listen.
No, you can't wait. Go on talk. Alex, answer, man. Alvaro asked about the question.
So, the question I asked you, the first time the government went to the NHT for budget support, why did they did it and what year did they did it?
You have the floor, Alex.
They did it in 2014. They did it in 2014, and it was to plug a gap in the budget. Because it was as a result of doing an audit and finding out that they had a lot of cash reserves in a lot of government agencies that they could use rather than go there to borrow. So
okay, so only thing, okay, Jalix, that is good.
Actually,
only
use the NHT fund.
Well, Jalix, that's good.
Well, Jalix, the answer. Relax now. I'm going to respond again. Go again.
The only thing truthful about what you say is the cash reserve, and I'm going to point you back to the information. In 2009, 2010, were we locked out of the international market? Yes or no? True or false?
2009, 2010. No, we were not locked out of the market.
Jalix,
we were not
Falcon, want you Google it? No, me want you Google it,
we were not locked out of the market in 2009, 2010. Jamaica had difficulties closer to 2011 accessing capital on the international market. 2009, 2010, we were not locked out.
So when did we get back funds on the international market? What year?
Pretty much, as far as I remember, is after 2016. Because
okay, so what causes that? What caused that, Jalix?
We went back to the IMF.
Okay, how did we get back to the IMF? What caused it?
What caused it?
What caused why we couldn't get the money from the international
As far as
market?
I'm concerned,
where you're concerned, what is the truth?
At that point in time, there was the JLP had we could not agree on certain terms of the IMF agreement, that is the payment of the 7% increase to public sector workers. We decided to pay the 7%, and that caused some issues with the IMF agreement. But just to remind you that up to that point,
no, Jalix, me no need that.
IDB,
Jalix, I don't need.
World Bank of 200 million United States dollars.
Jalix, me not asking nothing about that. So you confirm, so you have problem with the IMF. Did the IMF chief executive officer write to Jamaica, Portia Simpson, Peter Phillips, and tell them say them have to find an agency within the country to with its surplus revenues to use the money from, because if IMF don't give you a pass mark, you cannot get money to borrow from anybody else in the international market? Yes or no? True or false?
Well, as I said,
no, me just ask you, is it true or false?
I said that as part of us cleaning up our books, it was recognized that.
So how you make it look like so we just going in and she got to cut the money and it was doing a fair party cause it?
I don't understand. The government,
so
the country. Let me tell you where all of that started. That started from Ardisha brought the fiscal paper to the House. There were two things that was a part of the fiscal responsibility framework that was started under Ardisha. One, we had to divest ourselves of loss-making entities. And two, we had to know.
Hold on, Jalix, stop. Jalix, stop.
So Falcon,
Jalix
here. Let me finish. That is where.
Jalix, stop.
Okay, so let me
Jalix,
stop.
So Jalix, stop.
That is where.
Jalix, stop.
To divest the loss.
Jalix, stop.
Here, Jamaica, the sugar company of Jamaica that was leading the
country. Me can't do this. So you say we have to get rid of last entity we are make a loss. Jalix,
just allow me to just complete.
Jalix,
I am saying that it's two things, and that is where
hold on, stop. You must not understand. So I'm gonna repeat the question to you that I can respond. Can you respond to when I ask you? So I'm tell you. So Alva repeat back the question you say.
So you say government have to get either loss entity will make a lot of loss. So from that time when you get rid of the sugar factory, where is it that water commission are making more loss than the sugar factory? Yes or no? Can you say you have to get rid of the last entity where report loss, you know? So is it that water commission that make more loss than the sugar?
Right. The government can't get rid of water commission, my brother. We can't get rid of commercial entity.
Why?
The government had no reason to be in a commercial operation.
No, but
like sugar.
but Jalix, your argument now will no water.
So why we don't understand?
Can you just say government have to get rid of the last entity?
Government loss-making entities that the government had no business in. Things like Air Jamaica, things like the sugar companies of Jamaica, the government had no business being in those industries. A private man to run them up there.
Okay.
Water provision of water is a government responsibility. That is different. You can't bring them into something there. So the government started to divest the entities that was dragging down. Air Jamaica was costing the government over $5 billion a year. The sugar companies was costing the government over $8 billion a year.
So me ask you a question.
So the government had to get rid of those entities, so they didn't have to saddle the country with additional debt.
Jalix, hold on.
Stop. So you say the government have to get rid of sugar factory because it was a loss, and a private man to get into those type of business. Would you say a private man to get in a transportation business? Yes or no? That's a yes or no question, me ask you.
In every country, the government.
Yes, I know him, sir. Yes, I know him, sir. Hold on, Jalix. Yes, I know.
No.
All right, fine.
Okay, fine.
Next question.
Jalix, I don't need that.
Yes or no question. Just simple.
So if it is no,
it's not a yes or no answer. It's not a yes or no answer. You can't. It's not a yes or no answer. You have to subsidize urban transportation. Every country does it in every country across the world. New York,
Name me them.
France, every
No,
single
name me them.
country
Or they
across the world
subsidize. Or you work.
subsidize transportation.
No, listen to
The
Jalix.
government runs the entities. Who runs the subway system and the buses in New York? It's the
Who
city
run
of
it?
New York.
Or
The
is it a
city
profit? Well,
in
I
New
know,
York,
Jalix, just listen.
that is what I'm saying.
Jalix,
It is not
Jalix.
profitable.
Jalix,
Urban
this is
transit
the reason
in
why
no
I can't
country
reason
is
with you.
urban transit
I mean, no like
profitable
reason with
across
you.
the world.
Can you
Government
answer two questions
provide
somebody now?
subsidy for it.
Jalis.
All right. Hold on,
Okay,
Jalis.
Jalis.
But you answered the question already. So, all right.
Jalis.
I'm going to get another part of the question.
Jalis, hold on. Jalis, I have a question for you, Jalis. Is it possible for you to be speaking and hearing at the same time? Jalis?
What was that?
Is it possible,
What was that?
Jalis, for you to be speaking and hearing at the same time?
Speaking and hearing. Okay, I'm not listening, Mr. Talk.
And Jalis, I'm curious because all it is just chat. You know, listen, so you answer question when you're not supposed to answer. Is it
The man
possible,
asked me a
Jalis,
question
hear?
and answer the question.
Jalis,
Alright,
Jalis,
just
it's simple. Jalis,
go to a question.
Jalis,
I'm moving on, please.
simple, Jalis. It's simple. ABC 1, 2, 3. Is it possible for you to be speaking and listening at the same time? That's all me ask. Yes or no? It's simple, you know. Can you answer that, Jalis? I see your plight, you know, Jalis. I see your intention. I know your intention, Jalis. So me ask you a question. Is it possible for you to listen and speak at the same time?
All right. So my question to you.
No. Answer my question, Jalis.
Please
Answer
tell
my
me.
question, Jalis. Yes or
Okay,
no, Jalis?
you have to stop to listen. Okay, so may I ask a question now? Can you guys
No,
please tell me what was the growth-inducing strategies?
No, me go answer. Well, I know, Jalix.
What
Me
is
go
the
answer that question. Well, I know.
growth-inducing strategies
Jalix.
that
Well, I
was
know.
introduced by the opposition
Me go tell you it. Me
in
go
the
explain
budget
to you properly.
presentation?
Me go
Please
explain
tell
to you.
me, tell
Me
me
go
three of
explain
them.
to you.
Tell me three where you asked
Me
about.
can't
Tell me
hold
three
it,
of
man.
them.
Me can't tell you hold it.
Tell me the three
Okay.
of them, please. I'm waiting. So please,
Okay.
no. Good.
Okay, great. So you ask for growth infrastructure. So first thing, the tax package, just like our government never agreed, me not agree with it. Because taxes is not Jamaica problem. Tax collection is Jamaica problem. I'm your point to the data, Jalix. So I wanted to go on page 10 of the budget presentation. Auntie Favor said this year she will collect $90 billion less than she projected. So that means her money is out there and we don't collect it. And years after, every year, we don't collect money for whatever reason. So one of the methods that Mark Golding was proposing, or PNP proposed, create a legislation that forces people who fail to pay tax or report false tax that they has to pay it. Just like how it is being reported that the car dealers who import car file nil income for the last 10 years, but making billions of dollars. That means the government coffer is short of maybe couple $100 million or a couple $1 million.
Alvaro,
Sir, don't stop. Hey.
Hold on, Jalix. I'll get the chance.
Not tax collection.
Jalix, hold on, man.
Tax collection.
Jalix, hold on, make a man.
Hold on,
Listen, man,
Falcon,
you
you're
have a problem
listening.
answering questions. You have a problem and just relax, Jalix. Make the man finish. We give you a chance, them to, you know. Go ahead, Alvaro. Finish your answer. They'll get a chance.
That is why I tell you, say you listen and don't talk. Because growth and revenue spring from growth. If you not collect your salary and save some and invest some, can you grow? If you spend out all of your salary per expense, you can move from the same place where you're there. In simple analogy, Jalix, you don't understand that. So if your revenue that is out there to be collected and you don't collect it, how is it that you're going to fix road? Or you're going to do hospital? Eh? Did the government, did Mark Golding never present SME or government to provide the same infrastructure where you are telling me now to go build house, carrying foreign investors, share the project, make your local investors make your money stay in our country.
All
So
right, Alvaro, you have anything else to add to him? Ask him and make him respond. We have anything else?
So me just clear up on it. Make it come NHT project, make it stay in Jamaica. Split it up among small project developers. So your money stays, so you know if you get a buy up no BOJ and if you sell only per US dollar, if you pay no bill of foreign, the money stay in Jamaica. And you grow talent, grow revenue, and you collect more tax. Because when you give China buy money, China have a Ghana, China with the money. and we only have a project and the money gone. So I will make that state income again.
Okay, all right. I'll make him respond. Jalix. Jalix, you have the floor.
All right. Okay. All right. So, and see, it is laid bare. It is laid bare. Growth-inducing strategies or initiatives, Falcon, has to do with what the...
Hold on, you're answering a question, are you making a statement?
I am telling you that I'll know him no answer the question. He has not come up with one thing. Growth-inducing, what he said a while ago.
No, hold on, one thing like what? Because what you ask, what you request, what you expect him to answer.
I ask him. Let me say, just allow me. I asked my question, what did the opposition put forward to grow the economy? You notice what I said? I said the government is going to grow the economy using government spending on the Naira. They have gotten a lot of an investment from the multilaterals. And
where you get the investment from?
That money in. Listen, man, allow me, I didn't interrupt you, sir, please. Right? What he just said a while ago is that the government, the opposition put forward something about revenue, tax revenue. Tax revenue, in truth and in fact, has nothing to do with growth. We want to know what has they put in place. What did the opposition say they're going to put in place to help the economy to grow? Not 1%, but 2% and 3%. That is what I ask you. That is why I said fast. The government is going after new investment to get new.
Make a respond again.
The government is going to...
Hold on, Jack.
Allow me to speak. No. That's what I'm saying.
Too long.
We want to hear what the opposition is proposing.
The thing you asked him a while ago, you must respond to it now. You could just do it.
And get
respond to it now.
Growing
well, I know Jalix.
Implied.
Ask the man the question, make him respond to it now.
They not have nothing because
the interruption thing on our work, man. Just relax. Come now. Go ahead, Alvar, and answer now. Alvar, all right. Anybody else?
Because there's nothing in the budget. There's nothing that they said in the budget that was geared towards growth.
Yeah, man.
Nothing.
Let me tell you something, man.
Nothing.
Well,
tell me, Mr. Sidney, what did Mark Golden say that would grow the economy?
Before you reach this up, anti-favor, say,
hold on. So, Jalix.
Don't care come up with one single one.
Jalix, it's either we have a damn conversation or you shut your damn mouth, man. Hey, get me upset that I'm not talk that way, you know. You can't attack and me attack at the same time, Bridget. You ask me a question, me ask you a question, Bridget. The simple thing that man over there reason anything going good, man. You said there's none. And you said there's a growth and you mentioned Nara. But how you gonna mention Nara, Jalix, when Nara is a future project? Nara that even have a policy. Nara statutory policy, not even in a parliament yet. Nara don't even have a director. The Prime Minister said the director for Nara, they shortlist 5 persons. You don't even show me shortlisted 5 persons. Me no suit the Prime Minister appetite or the board of director appetite. They don't even have a board of director. How you can talk about something set up great country but don't even exist yet?
Okay, all right. Well, now. Colin, Mr. Colin for Aaron another thing long time. Colin.
I mean, Colin a while ago feed the man.
Well, on, see, this so come. Colin there wait long time. Let's give him a chance.
Oh, Colin there.
Yeah, man. Colin.
See, I'm more to ask Jalix when they say tax raising is not, or tax collecting is not part of government revenue or growth. When you do have a deficit in tax collecting, what does that do to the country? And Jalix?
A question for you, Jalix.
When you have a deficit, well, the government have to find other ways to meet the shortfall. But that's not the option here.
How would the government
growth-inducing strategies?
How would the government
get the question straight. Hold on.
The question was...
When I run past the thing now. Hold on. Before you ask the question was, Colin asked about the question where you say, respond. We want him to respond to. Now we get upon the right track.
You said tax collecting is not part of growth. I said to you, if the government have a deficit in tax collecting, you said they would have to get it from somewhere else. Where would they get that money from?
They'd have to get it from whether they get it from places like I'll draw down from the NHT or they get it from borrowing. But that is beside the point, Colin.
No man,
That's
that's
beside
not
the point.
No man, that
The
is the
question
point.
I asked.
Hold on.
The question I asked. The
Hold
question
on,
I
Alex.
asked is
I'm trying to make your point, you know. So when you borrow money now, what does that do to the country?
just answer the question and stop asking me because I don't know where you're trying to get at. Just answer the question.
What do you mean, man?
That's
No
what
be
you're
asking
saying.
But what's the question?
Say what you're saying because
I am
all of what
saying
you're going down here is
when they
beside
you
the
said
point
that they have to
of
borrow
what I'm
the
trying
money.
to
I
say.
am just going by your statement, you know. You said that tax collecting is not growth. And I'm saying to you, when they don't collect the taxes that they should collect, what would happen when they reach a shortfall? You said they would have to borrow the money. When they borrow the money, what does that do to the economy? And
But why are we gone to a hypothetical situation about not
No,
collecting
but what
the
you're saying,
revenue?
my response to what you were saying, my response to what you're saying.
It's actually
what
not hypothetical.
I didn't say
but
anything
it's
about not
actually-
collecting the revenue.
No, it's not
I am-
hypothetical. It's what's going on right
It's
now.
a
in the-
hypothetical you're talking about. with that
No, it's
argument.
what's going on
Colin,
right now in the budget.
Let me ask you a question, Colin. Just listen to what I'm asking. Give me a second.
Hold on, Alex. Did Alvaro said to you that Flaval says she will not be collecting enough taxes this year in this year budget? Did Alvaro say that?
She'll not be collecting enough taxes every year.
Jalix, stop.
You know?
The shortfall this year.
Every-
I mean, name me page in
every-
the budget where you must go. I
Yes,
see you
and
never
every,
read.
every
So
year.
don't
we
bother
have a-
come with that,
every
Jalix.
year. Listen, wait now. Allow me to answer, man. Every single year, there's no year that Jamaica has been able to cover 100% of its spending from taxes. We have to borrow to fill a gap. So that is nothing unique to this year's budget, right? What I'm saying, are we're getting sidetracked. The question is that I asked Colin, growth-inducing strategies, strategies that are going to expand the economy. What were those strategies put forward by the opposition? I am still waiting to see one significant. Please tell me one. Tell me.
Collecting from custom where the whole for wastage are going.
Lord Jesus, that is not growth-inducing strategy. That is not going to grow the economy. That is actually taking more money out of the economy.
Jalix, is it that you give people and
That
you
is
shut
not
up,
growing the
Reggie?
economy.
Shut up, Reggie, make the people and talk, Reggie. Because you talk and then you not give money time.
The man say 40 billion. You can't
You don't know where you're going,
you can collect 40 billion from custom.
Alex.
And if you collect 40 billion without good people, tax collect the wasted and the rubbish.
That is
and
not
collect your
growing
40
the
billion.
economy.
Well,
You mean, Reggie, well on, man. If you collect 40 billion, you never have that budget.
It's not
Colin,
just
man.
Colin,
Well on,
can you explain to
if you
Mr.
collect-
Sidney that collecting more money at custom does not grow the economy?
People can't talk one time.
Let me finish my point and not cut now. If the man says you not collect no new
right,
tax,
go on,
collecting the thieving. And what did this man, the thieving and the robbery want go on? From customer $40 billion. And if you collect your $40 billion without no new taxes by the people, that not help grow your thing. We never have. Where you collect, you not help grow the economy.
Alex,
Listen, that is growing tax revenue. That's not growing the economy. We're talking about growing the economy. Creating jobs and growing the economy. How is collecting more money at customs expanding the economy? You're actually extracting more money from the economy.
Alex, let me give you a perfect example.
Yeah.
You know that you labor rights are always talking about Singapore, right? And how Jamaica will be the next Singapore and so forth. Do you know how Singapore improved their economy?
So like people going on sense,
Alex. Alex.
Go ahead, man.
Ask that question. So, how Singapore grow their economy?
Labor rights are always using Singapore as the example of who they want to be like. Do you know how Singapore improved their economy?
Go ahead and talk, the man.
Jalix, Jalix, why are you being so?
Listen.
Why are you being the way you're being, Jalix?
Listen, go ahead and talk.
No.
I'm asking a question, what you ask a question, Jalix. I'm asking if you know how
Answer the question
Singapore.
and stop being daft, that Jalix. Stop it.
No, what on, man? Because I want to get out of the answer. Colin asked me a question if you know Singapore stabilize the economy and reach whatever.
Yeah, we know.
Singapore essentially took on a model to build industries. Singapore is one of the most industrialized countries in the world, right? Which was what we were doing in the 1960s. We were building manufacturing industries in Jamaica, and Singapore came here and saw the model and copied it, and got a lot of foreign investors. And Singapore also used logistics because they're strategically located in an area in the Pacific, in that section, and they use logistics and manufacturing to build their economy to where it is today, which is
that
the model that Jamaica was going off.
No, that's not correct. Singapore was like what Jamaica is today. It was corrupted. It was full with pilfering. It was full with people not paying their taxes. It was full with corruption on top of corruption on top of corruption. And that what was stifling Singapore. While Singapore did use the Jamaican in the initial state was to clean up the corruption. Because if you have a cut and you don't clean it and you continue to make it infested, it's gonna broke out into something where you probably have to cut off a foot. So what Singapore did was decided that, okay, in order for us to progress, to proceed, and to grow this, we need to clean up the corruption. Thieving people, and when not pay taxes, them are going to start pay taxes. That is how Singapore decided to lock up and send the corrupted politician them, whether that thief from the economy, straight to prison.
Okay.
And that is how
you agree with that? You agree with that, Jalix? You agree with that, Jalix?
So how Jalix jump in and say, what me say wrong? How Jalix I say me wrong? And I say thing me brethren say a while ago.
Listen,
$40 billion
that in itself alone did not put Singapore where it is today. That is one thing. But listen, as I said, that is not what put Singapore and allow Singapore economy to grow. Yes, it helped to collect more revenues for the country, but that is not what Singapore used to grow its economy. You have to put in direct growth inducing strategies for Singapore to grow. You had to put in things to attract foreign investors. You had to position the country. You had to position the country to actually take advantage of opportunities based on its geolocation, and that's what it did. Singapore has a large logistics operation, and Singapore is able to make manufacturing very cheap in the country.
Yeah, man.
So cutting out corruption was just one thing, man.
Jalix.
That's one thing. That's not the main thing.
Jalix, I asked you the question before, Jalix, so you refrain to answer it, Jalix. And that's why you don't learn, Jalix. I asked you if you can talk and listen at the same time. You can. You have a mix up. So the first thing you have to do, Jalix, is to listen. While you are talking, you want everybody to listen, but when everybody else talk, you don't want to listen. When anybody asks a question, Jalix, you answer what you want to answer. Anyway, this is what I want to say to you. If, as I said, all of them things that we talk right, all of you say it's right with Singapore, right. But if Singapore did not cut corruption, get rid of all of them, lock up who feel lock up and do them things, you know, think so when the money come in, it come one year and go through the other way to make a difference, Jalix?
Right.
Hold on, stop, don't answer Jalix. But me your case and you say everything what Jalix said right, but contrary Colin said never right.
No. Hold up. The geo era, the manufacturing and all these things are right. But before they
you have to be specific where you're talking about. Colin said the right and you said right.
Falcon.
No, but we have to clarify.
No, listen what me say no Falcon, what me say to you. What Colin says right. What him says also right. But what he's trying to do, listen, why Colin says not right. What he's trying to do is to put in the money without the structure. Colin is just giving the proper structure. Without the structure, the money would make no sense.
Oh.
I'm right, Colin?
Yeah, man, you're right. Because yeah, the thing now.
That's basically what I'm saying.
No, that's why I know the
Let me
right
tell you what
page.
labor I do.
Let
Let me tell you what labor I do. Let me tell you what labor I do. Labor right make things pretty and try to deny the fact that things is wrong. If you have somebody, if you have a man in your business a run, and every time you put $20 million in it, him take out 5. He might take out 5, might take out 5. You can't say you repeat. That man I got drain, you know. If you know it, that man I got drain, you know. So the how much money you put in, you know, you're gonna be at a loss, you know. Cause that man I take out. If you get rid of that man there and make sure something not come out, you're going to grow.
Exactly. You have any question to ask, Jalis?
So the question I want to ask Jalis now is that if you constantly allow people to take out of your system without getting rid of them, do you think the system going to be better down the road?
Right. And as far as I agree with you, my brother, that we have to do that. But as I said, that is not a credible growth inducement strategy. Listen to what Singapore. Let's get it from.
Jalix, don't do that, Jalix, because if Singapore never, Jalix, do not do that. Because if Singapore never get to that,
can I answer my question, please? Answer a question. Singapore transformed its economy through developing.
No, Jalix, that's not what first they do.
The port into high income financial, global financial and industrial hub. Let me just read this now. Let me just read this. Let me just read this.
They're gonna make you read it.
Let me just read this, man.
What you're saying and what you're reading from Google is totally different from what the man who transformed Singapore said. Lee Kuan Yew, who is the person who came to Jamaica and got the ingredients from Jamaica, he said that Singapore would not be where it is if you did not clean up corruption. He said a corrupted nation will never ever grow. He said any nation that have corrupted politicians is a nation that is going to fail. He said what they did in Singapore to start the ball rolling, to get to where you're reading now, is to start to lock up all of the thief in politicians. He said when you're locking up thief in politicians, you don't lock them up from the bottom up, you lock them up from the top down. So once you lock up the big man, then the small man down at the bottom will say, what? Hold on, man, I walk on me. No, can't wait. He said that if you lock up the little man, it not gonna make no difference for the big man. But if you lock up the big man, it's gonna make a big difference for the little man. And once he decide to clean up the country, then the country start to grow. It's the same exact thing that is going on in Burkina Faso, where them did a thief the money and I give France everything. And now you have a leader that comes in and say, "I'm a clean up corruption and I'm gonna make the country grow." You see, so what you're reading is what happened after them clean up everything and decide to lay the foundation down, and now the country can start to grow. But the country would never grow if them never clean up corruption and lock up all of the thief in politicians. Them we need to start locking up. So when you look at
Jamaica, clean up, lock up all the corrupt people and rob the people them.
But Colin, the same thing you go on Burkina Faso, Colin.
Yeah.
The same thing you go on Burkina Faso, and this is what
I'm still waiting though. Listen.
Okay. For 5 minutes and I watch your confusion. I'll learn for 5 minutes. Go on top. And I go straight to that go good enough. Everybody running one time and now I go learn nothing.
So allow me to just respond to Colin.
All
right, Colin. As I said, I will take that clean up corruption, include tax collection, is an avenue for government to improve its revenues. That has no direct impact on the growth of the country. Government get more money. That's fine. That is not the question. Alvaro asked me 3 growth-inducing strategies that was introduced by the government, and I named the 3 of them, and we went through them. I am asking for growth-inducing strategies or initiatives, right, that would improve the. As a matter of fact, midday right now probably could have mentioned one. I don't think that would really help in growth. It's still revenues that it would help. The nomad thing that Mr. Sutton mentioned, but it's more revenues, although it would have a multiplier effect. I am asking the People's National Party representatives here to tell me how the PNP would grow the economy based on the presentation in Parliament, and nobody can give me one.
It's not an opposition.
Nobody can give me one. I gave you 3 a while ago. That is not going to affect growth. It is going to affect government revenues. I'm talking about how we're going to get more businesses going.
All right, hold on. Somebody answer the question.
From
Hold on, stop, Jolly. Before they ask me the
that's what we want to find out.
Hold on, Jolly.
I'm still waiting on somebody.
Hold on, Jolly. You say you want somebody from the PNP, when I PNP to explain how them are making the growth. Anybody can answer.
And we are go back to what Colin started out by saying, and this is what Jolly run from. This is what Jolly run from, and we can't deny this. I said again, let me go back again. You have a drum that is leaking. You have a drum that is leaking. And every month you buy gallons of water putting in the same drum where a leak.
Stop, go back to that. That cannot grow the economy. That is only going to grow government revenues.
Brother, please. Please, just shut up. Please. Just please.
Listen, what you're saying is...
Jolly, to ask a question, you respond to. Let's make if my talk, we can talk. Hold on.
It's nonsense. It's government revenues that will grow.
That is the man I respond to. Just listen to him.
Tell me something that is going to drive the economy.
Falcon.
Yeah.
What is going to drive the economy?
Falcon, if I buy 1,000, if I get away
no, you are one. Hold on. Don't respond to me. Respond to Jalis.
No. Falcon, we can't talk to Jalis. You know what I mean?
No, man, they have to stop. They ask that question. Listen what you said. That's it. Hold on, no, man. I know the strategy. Hold on.
I can't work.
Hold on. I know the strategy, man. Just Jalis, just respond to respond to Jalis' question.
Yeah, me I respond to
Jalis' question.
I am saying
Jalis, make him respond.
I am saying that no, Jalis. If you have a drum that is leaking and you get people from all over supporting the water, regardless of the amount of water that you're getting support with, the leaking is still there and it's going to tear you down. Because that leaking is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, because when the pressure reaches it's going to leak greater. So I'm saying to you, when pressure gets by with bus, I'm saying to you, if you fix the leak, after you fix it, the first strategy to grow your place is to get rid of all inactive or bad things that stop you from growing. When you do that, everything else can fall in place.
All right, stop now.
Give me don't answer.
Morning. Hold on. This brother staff guard that tries something in their work. Let's make him put in.
Oh, I see him with me too. But go on, stop.
All right.
Go on, stop. Yeah, thank you very much. Sometimes, can you hear me?
Yeah, man, we are here. Go ahead.
Yeah, sometimes it's so, we're trying to work with JLP people, but sometimes it's hard, and sometimes it brings tears to our eye, and this is true. JLP, you see what's going on, and one thing I want to say, right? The common person.
Make a point.
Yeah, the common people that is working like in the supermarket and the call center in Jamaica, those young people, they are not going to be able to have a house through the NHT under this government, because they are saying that they are not qualified and they're still paying all these taxes. JLP and the houses that they say they are building through housing trust, me and you cannot afford them. JLP government is so, I can't elaborate much. It's so, oh my God, I can't find the word.
All right. Stop. Jealous, you have two people for answer. You have Peter Kessler and Staff.
Falcon.
Hold on, D, because you just come in.
No, I told me there, remember, just want to say something quick. All
right, so we are quick. Go ahead, so we are quick.
Yeah, me just want to answer Jalix really quickly, because him sound like him have little sense.
Go ahead.
Watch this now. Did you know? I was typing in the comments that the cost of corruption to the economy is about 5% of GDP, which is about 90 to 100 billion.
90 to 100, yeah.
Now, do you understand what that can do for the economy? If we cut out the corruption, that's an immediate savings of 90 to 100 billion dollars. Imagine the government spending that money back in the economy. Do you know what the growth it will spur in the economy?
Yes.
By hiring more teachers and doctors and all of these people making roads.
You need Jalix to respond now, right?
I just wanted to point that out to Jalix, but me still a listen to him.
All right, fine, no problem. Jalix have 3 questions. Hold on, Jalix have 3 questions answered. After that, Sydney. Jalis?
Yeah, man. I honestly, the gentleman before this, I'm not too sure his point, but I'm going to get to that.
I was Kessan and Jalis.
As I said, we keep on conflating something here. We keep on conflating the government and its opportunity to collect more revenues with the growing of the economy, right? I take that point that if you get rid of corruption, you're going to the government will get more revenues. What I am looking for, and as I said, what we would need right now, we've been growing at an average since over the last 10 years. What the JLP has not been able to do, it has not been able to get consistent growth above 2%. How do we get to transform the economy from a 1.5% to a high of 2% to getting 4% and 5% growth? There was nothing in the opposition's presentation that put forward a strategy that say, okay, what we're going to do, let us probably hear Mark Golden mention something about increasing skills training. Those are the lie. Them say lie. Them say lie. Them say lie. Go on.
A long time in a talk, man. Every time
I said, yeah, man. So just give me my 2 minutes. Just let me finish up. Right? Similar. So I heard Mark Golden said that we need to expand skills training, which is something that the government is already doing. Those are the things that can give you increased growth. I heard Faval now allowing pension funds to invest a larger amount of their cash holdings into the productive sector, right? That is going to make more money. To make more cash available for investment into the productive. These are the things that are going to expand.
To the people, let me just finish.
15 seconds.
You make statement, the man ask a question and I respond to them.
You know,
I'm responding to what the gentleman said. I'm responding to what the gentleman said. I'm still saying that everything that they're talking about, this corruption thing, is not going to grow the economy. It is going to increase government revenues. What are you doing to help businesses directly to flourish? Right? That is what we're talking about. The sandbox thing that the minister mentioned of trying to foster small businesses.
But you're not answering the man question. All right, stop now. It's 15 seconds done.
So we're not hearing nothing.
Yes. Sydney your time. Sydney your time. Hold on, Jalix, man. Sydney your time.
Jalix, the first lie Jalix I tell. This government our time never reach 1% good. Never go over 1%. I might put 2%, which part. Never, Jalix. That is a lie. First lie you tell us so. Now be clear of this. All right, now we are 0.8 with the right, not even 1%. Right? Good. Secondly, the opposition did about agriculture and it deal with housing. The same thing want some new thing one who I say come now one who cover everything, housing and everything. And where Mark Golden saw this by the rent to home and the 4 sector are housing for people, right? People like me who run taxi, right? Me not have no pay slip, right? Now go sign up and pay my thing for 6 months straight. And then me get house and me pay me mortgage. That is a growth spectre, brethren. Agriculture, right? The man tell us to cut out some of the importation thing and deal with our farmers there. So, may the hotel can buy from them, the business people can buy from them, and have to import so much from foreign. Make our foreign exchange, our foreign importation bill not so high, and we can level the playing field and go to better. You know, hear them make Jalix, them that real growth in our economy, because right now, for the past 10 years, our importation bill higher than our export bill. See? about saying, no, you're not find your position. And we can't tell you. We are telling you right now, so what you ears and listen. All of them things that the government are coming with now. They say them coming on something. One name, it's about overall all of them things there. Like how that's the housing trust, right? And Mark Golden suggestion, them are use. You think we know what you know?
All right.
Add to that.
It's about 8 to hold on up. Me have to give him chance.
But you can't chat me up suddenly, man.
Well, it's 8 against 1, so I have to give him chance. You know, can't do that. You know, me have to just give him.
Yeah, but we not listen to what the thinking can not listen.
Well, but me have to transfer. Me have to give him chance to respond and come at time.
Yeah.
8 against 1. So
Make you answer me first. Make you answer me first.
All right, Jelly, answer Sydney.
I Sydney can need an effort, but none of the things that Sydney mentioned are anything new. What I'm saying about agriculture. What we want to hear from agriculture is what the government is doing now, which is the pushing of the expansion in the agro parks, the fact that we are now self-sufficient in onions because of the work of the minister. As a matter of fact, we had an oversupply of onions since our Hurricane Melissa, because the government was so aggressive in getting farmers back into the field. So that is what more of here. But I'm not getting a clear picture of how the PNP would grow the economy.
All right. Let me address it now.
Me want give
Hold on, John. You have some question.
Let me just come down. Let me
Me want give you 4 times.
Hold on.
So let me
Tell us
just
the answer. We'll take it to that time. So mix up, you know. Come in now, Kessan. Because you hear what you say.
All right. So Jolly, you talk about growth strategy, right? You guys talk about tax. Do you know that Mark Golden talk about the recovery of this country by helping poor people to rebuild? They start rebuild. But if you even start rebuild and the money starts circulating in the country, it still go back to the foundation. If the foundation has set,
yeah, the government
build the foundation now. We have
$10 billion. That has been done already. The government is giving $10 billion to rebuild. That has been done.
Mute the mic.
You mean the $10 billion of people can't get now? The $10 billion of people line up for every day and can't get it.
$7 billion.
Because first look at hold on, Julian. Because first look at how our country's economy. It's only one way to grow a country's economy. Is your goods, your production, higher production in goods and services.
Hold on. Stop. You have to do it in time now. We'll call up on your card. You don't want to mix up things. Sir, you finish with Jalice?
No, you know what I do? Like how Dino come, I give you Dino my time. Let Dino finish.
Okay, all right. Dino, go ahead, Dino.
We have to look at how does a country grows its economy. And for your economy to grow, you have to have high growth in the total production of goods and service. You have to increase those. In order to, there are certain key factors that you use to drive the economy. One is capital investment. 2, and when we talk about service, government is the largest producer of service. So if you not clean up your act with your corruption, you can't provide the service. So you don't have enough money to pay doctors, teachers, and all the essential workers within the community. So you have to clean up the corruption. Labor force expansion and skills. That's another factor you have to take into consideration. You have.
All right. Can I?
Hold on. What about respond? Hold on, Dino. More respond. Jelix, come on. I respond. How we are.
Right.
Tell me
I hear what you're saying, but Dino is trying to do the same thing. I'm trying to support him in people with this thing about corruption. That, as I said, we want to see direct. Don't interrupt me, Tiny. Don't interrupt me, please. We want to see direct growth-inducing strategies. I hear Sydney come here and talk about the economy has not grown 1%. Let me tell him the rates. And I'm going to start from 2013. 2013 under the PNP, 0.2%. Under 2014, 0.5%. 2015, 1.4%. The only year, 1.3% under 2015. This is World Bank information. 2016, 2016, when we became government, 2.7%. 2017, 2.2. 2018, 2.5. 2019, 1.8%. Right? And 2023, 2.7%. Right? 2024, 1%. 2025, 2.1%. Those are the numbers.
All right, stop now, Jerry.
Economic
growth in
Jamaica.
I have a problem. Somebody have a problem. Hold on now. I have a problem with those figures. Jerry, I'm Sydney going.
All right, look at Alex.
Hold on, Sydney respond to that problem.
2015, because you can't say 2016 because two sides mix. So we say 2015. You can't take clear with 2016 because you win 2016 and we are in 2016 too. So any growth you have to come from we. So you can't get great from this. You can't come in 2016, half of the year, and we in the half of the year. What do you take growth for that? I will come over from we, come below that the growth where you found.
Well, Falcon, no.
But you oppose something else, Sydney. Let's say,
yes. But Falcon.
Hold on, I'm not keep us scared.
Well, in next thing when we oppose, where this man get them African from. Last year, 25, it was 0.0.0.1.
No, but I listen to Jale.
Last year.
Hold on, you get a chance, man. Dino, me hear what you said.
I was giving all the factors and the key that drive economic growth. Which when I said capital investment, labor force expansion and skill.
It's what Jelix said where Sydney opposed to that.
I'm listening to Jalix, which is saying that the opposition did not mention anything to show to grow the economy. Last year, the opposition spent its whole time giving you all the factors to grow an economy, introducing injection money into the orange economy and several other factors, housing, everything, how to grow an economy. This year, I think when I listen to the opposition speech, it's just more how to tidy your house, how to collect your more taxes to make you more. They target it mostly on because of the devastation in Jamaica because Hurricane Melissa. You can't be throwing more pressure onto the people. You should be relieving them of the pressure. So they show you means of it. You can tidy up your house instead of taxing.
All right, Dino. Point it now, Dino. Hold on. Now ask Jalis a question. Jalis, Sydney asks where you get your information from with those figures.
Yeah. Put it on the big board, yeah. Put up it on the big board, Jalis.
See it here. All right, you want to see it?
Yeah, put it on the big board.
Statistica.
I don't come with no band.
You're on the big board.
Statista.
Yeah.
See it here.
When does it come up?
Wait, let me turn on me.
25, you want to say last year 25. Come with no AI thing doing, no, because we know no master with that. Because we no fool.
All right, see.
We're not seeing anything.
See it here.
Go ahead.
This is statistica.com.
No, I'm all that. I just send information. Give you.
See it here. That's where I got it from. See it? 2013 0.2, 2016 2.7, 2025, 2023.
We don't know what that's up.
That is statistica.com. Growth rate over Jamaica from 2013 to now. I'm projecting growth rate going forward. Let's move forward.
Jalis, Alvarez asks
no, we not move forward.
Let us move forward.
Jalis, Alvarez asks what is that? What is that you're explaining?
Yeah, what is that?
Statista.com. Growth of real gross domestic product, GDP in Jamaica from 1980 to 1930. See here?
2030, not 1930. 2030.
To 2030, from 1980 to 19. Please remember that the PNP average 0.02% growth between 2011 and 2012 and 2015. Let's move on. More go to
we don't want to move on. Hold on.
Move on.
So you said PNP. Hold on. Sydney have to get you to provide clarity.
Yeah. Go on.
So you said PNP average that, Jolix. What? What growth the PNP average, Alex?
0 point something percent growth. 0.2 or 0.4%.
What is it? What is it
over the 5-year period? For our growth rate from 2016 to now, from 2016 would have averaged about between 1.2 to 1.5%.
Alex, what on? You want to ask a specific question? Hold on, Alex. Hold on. You want to ask a specific question?
That's why the book up on people like me can answer basic question. You provide things you may ask you about Alex, we don't need that. I ask you what is the growth? Because you have 19 went to web. What is the yearly growth? Nobody you not give me average, more what they on the paper.
Yes.
Okay, come. Let me give you the what's on the paper. Let me turn on the camera. All right. Here we go from 2016.
We don't want to hear that Jalix, man.
Jalix, what are the Sydney? Jalix,
2016 2.7%. Wait no. 2016 2.7. 2017 2.29. 2018 2.5. 2019 1.8. Skip out the COVID years, 2020, 2021,
Jalix,
2022, because this is recovery growth, 2023, 2.7, and 2024.
Jalix, listen question.
Be specific for the question. Just be specific.
You just asked the question for the yearly average, and I gave it to you.
All right, fine.
The one more you want.
Specific question. All right, tell him what you want.
Okay.
You said.
Ask me now.
The PNP yearly growth is 2.2. I mean,
0.4.
Jesus Christ.
0.4.
That's right. You know, most stuff you dumb, you know. If you don't listen, you're going to listen. Or your response up in a year,
you said the PNP growth was 2.2. I didn't say that. I said it was 0.4.
Stop again. Alvaro, ask the question again.
Now, where's some more time?
No, in my list, let's ask the question.
You said the yearly growth. Let me ask you. What year? Call the number them by year so we can write them to respond to when you are going to present to the JLP. Because remember, said, reason why question is important, let me tell you. And you want to say the country just start growing, greatest growth as it's 2016 to present. So I want to compare and contrast. We see when I say starter says same thing or starting says same thing. And that's all the information I'm supposed.
So, I just tell you them a while ago. I just call them out. Didn't I just call them out a while ago?
No, but the average you call out. Average, you
it's
know
not
no
average. This is the growth rate. This is the growth rate, the actual growth rate. This is what it is saying. The actual growth rate. This is the actual growth rate. And if you go to 2020, 2013, 2012, 0.5%, 0.2, 0.58.
Jalix.
So if you want
all right, listen for the question. All right, Jalix, the best thing with us. Listen for the question. Just listen to the question. Just listen to the question.
You said the PNP growth average rate is 2.2. I don't want the average. Give me, you said, just listen. Just listen,
man. Just listen, man.
Jesus Christ, man. 2011, I went PNP core. 2012, this is the growth rate. Just for example, 1.1. Till the PNP tenure ends. Then you're not going to tell me the JLP. Can remember why that is important to the conversation, Jalix. If you don't understand. Mr. Only stand up the 6th of July 2025 and tell the country said. And since 2016, Jamaica has seen real growth. Not never that one at Jamaica before now. So with this data,
let's do that. Let's do that now.
Just present that like how me ask. Thanks.
Okay. All right. So from 2011, we start from 2011. The growth rate in 2011 was 1.5.
1 second, Jalix. Hold on. Let me just take out some of the type information. Because I remember some more asking. All right. Go on.
So the growth rate in 2011 was 1.4%. We lost power. In November, December of 2011. By 2012, the economy was at 0.5%. 2013, it was 0.58. So it was 0.2. 0.2 for 2012.
2012, 0.2.
Let me tell that. It was 2012 was 0.5. 2013 0.22. 2014
Well,
was 0.58.
0.22. Okay, go again. 14
2014 0.58. 2014 0.58. 2015 1.4.
1.4.
Right.
Okay.
So that is the 5-year term. 2016.
Hold on, Joyce. 1.4. All right. So
Yes.
go now. So we have a 2016.
2016 is 2.7. 2017 it's 2.2. 2018 it's 2.5. 2019 it's 1.8. Of course, we're going to skip out the years of COVID when it went to negative.
So why
because of
years
the economic
of COVID?
shutdown?
What is the years of COVID? 2020
2020 to 2022, because there's a 6% growth in 2022, but that would be recovery. So I'm not going to include that. I'm starting back at 2023.
No, we're not going to. But Mr. Banks, a question. If you are saying to me, you go from 2016 to 2021, and when COVID comes, 2020. So you go from 2016. So you go from 2016 to 2019. And then you skip out from 2020.
And then we skip out 2020 to 2022. Because 2020 was 8%. Let me tell you why. Just listen to the numbers. 8% decline in 2020, 5.5% rebound in 2021, and 6% rebound in 2020. Those are going to skew the numbers because that was recovery growth.
There's an important question. You mentioned recovery growth. You hear me go rebut your argument now, Jarvis. In the year of 2020, did you institute or get any set of technical expertise to grow the economy? Yes or no?
In 2020, how you going to grow the economy in 2020
no,
when COVID lockdown in place?
Did you get anybody with technical expertise to grow the economy as a part of a team? Yes or no?
What you're talking about, I don't understand what that question.
So how did we come by EPAC? How we come by EPAC? What was the duty of EPAC?
EPAC is an oversight body that reviews the government's. They just review the government's.
No,
they review the government's economic program. So what is the point of that? What is the point of that? I don't understand the point.
Jalix, that's why I make you all the while. Because you are presenting something and there's more information there that you're not telling Falcon and rest of people. In 2020, Andrew Holness employed Keith Duncan,
Michael
Leachin, and when another one name we are Minister of Investment and Commerce.
What's your point? What's your point though? What's your point?
He employed them
half
to say
of
that
the economy was locked down during COVID. What's your point?
Jalix, well I know either you go back some of your program and we are educated.
I can't learn to take a Jalix, man.
All you do is institute be nonsense before you listen. How you gonna respond to me if you don't listen when you say you don't listen what me say? How effective learning and understanding how to play spreadsheet. So Andrew let's employ those three guys with the investment and commerce, remember my man name. To aim to get Jamaica economy grow 5 in 4. Has Jamaica ever seen anything like that, Jalix? So for you to say you skip out 2020, for you to skip out 2020 and not including the policy or the organization and let's get in, if you do that, you're doing a great injustice to your own party and Jamaican people.
Let me say something as well. I don't understand Alex, because a country. Hold on, Jalix, because you have been talking a whole bag of foolishness. A country,
hold on. Dino, what you say?
I don't understand what Jalix is saying, because a country economy grows, it is being measured by the amount of GDP. And what is GDP? The measurement of GDP is the amount of goods and services that is being produced in the country. And right now, since between 2016 to 2026, there's no specific factory that was as a hand industry that's introduced to Jamaica. So where do we get the growth from, Jalix? I'm looking at statistics now, and there's no factories was built in Jamaica between 2016 and 2026. So where the growth come from? The growth has to come from goods and services, you know. So you have increased your production, and as I've been reading for years, Jamaica has increased their debt to GDP, but the GDP goes down. Our production is down.
So what you're doing? You are essentially you're preferring.
Hold on.
Let me just address it first.
Give a chance.
You are Mr. Dean. You are essentially putting forward your own numbers. So you are disputing the numbers that come out of government.
My computer is in front of me now.
I'm talking about numbers that come out of government.
But everything come out of Andrew Oldest and colleagues are lies, you know.
So I don't understand that. These are numbers coming out of the multilaterals, coming out of.
Well, I am reading from my computer now. Between 2016 and 20, there is no specific information available regarding numbers of new factories built in Jamaica.
Listen, you can't say that because you can't say that.
Well, I'm reading. All the Factories Corporation of Jamaica is actively involved in various projects aiming at stimulating economic growth.
Manufacturing is not our largest
and I ask you the question where the production is coming from.
Since 2016
till now, how many new hotels has been built? How many
we have added and allow me, since 2016 Jamaica has added more than Jamaica has expanded. Jamaica has expanded the tours. Wait, no man, no just allow me, no man.
Jalix.
Just wait.
Hold on, make him just finish. Make him finish your myself. Jalix, just finish yourself. No one
right. The tourism since 2016, Jamaica's hotel sector, we've expanded our hotel rooms by more than 5,000 rooms since 2016. That alone accounts for significant expansion in our economy.
That's it, make him respond, man.
Significant expansion. Not only that, in terms of job creation, the economy has created in excess of 150,000 jobs. Unemployment was 13.2%. Unemployment was 13.6% in 2016. Unemployment is now 3.3%.
So you prove that. Them say it's not true.
3.3%.
So you prove that.
I'm going to show you figures come from, see?
I'm going to show you.
ILO has changed all that figure come about. The ILO has changed how you calculate employment.
There is no change. As a matter of fact, the change that they do is that the change made it easier. Listen,
stop the program.
The change that they made unemployment rate.
Stop. Hold on.
There is no change.
Hold on.
There is no change.
New input. Hold on. New input. You be there because you're yourself. Because you be a fight long time. You are.
Hold on, Mr. Blair. So, Jalix, you're saying to me the information the head of Statin give Cliff Hughes that the employment way of calculating employment has changed and can't compete compared to no other year is not true? That's what you're saying? Yes or no? So yes or no, question. That's what you're saying?
The change that they did.
No, Jalix, this is the question me ask you.
Listen,
I ask you a simple yes or no.
Allow me to answer the question. The change that they did actually made the unemployment rate go up, because what they did was made the criteria to be considered employed more difficult. The employment
Jalix, stop.
You have to be working. I think it's more than, I can't remember any
When you remember
about 10 hours. I don't remember how many hours per week.
Jalix, stop.
And they move it. Let's say it was 10 first.
No,
they move it to 20.
Stop.
It's a more difficult rate to move. So
Okay, Jalix, what do you give somebody a time?
As a matter of fact, the unemployment
Hold
rate
on,
went up as a result of
hold
that
on,
in
Jalix,
2024.
hold on. Understand, sir, you want against the panel, you know. So
No,
that's
man.
sometimes-
We just
So
want
hold
to
on,
Jalix.
So hold on, no.
I'm going to say
no,
to
you talk the man about coming now.
I'm going to say this to you, Jalix.
All right, Alvaro.
I'm going to make a proposal to you, Jalix. And I'm dead serious like how today is whatever day. Information I'm going to give you. If you go over starting, no one doesn't see it. Name a charity, no one will give them $1,000 US. You know unemployment count, Jalix? Go over there, go check. Unemployment count. Me tell you parameters where government have. Less than 40 hours, them have 800,000 people. The government now counting person working less than 1 hour. 17,000 people. Go on over there, go check it now. And if you don't see it, name a charity. No, Jalix, what I know? Jalix, what I know?
Falcon.
Jalix, this is what I said to you.
Well, I told him, hold on, Jalix, make him ask the next year. They can respond to what
Jalix, this is what I said to you.
Hold on, Jalix, make him finish, I can respond.
The change took place in 2024.
Jalix,
It took place in
Jalix,
2024.
Make him ask
So we were using the same qualifications for the
Don't get a
last
chance to
10
answer,
years.
Jalix.
The change
man
took place in
Hold on,
2024.
man. Let's think you can't talk when the man talk. Just listen. You might get a 2-part question. Just wait and the answer.
So the first thing I said to you, I give you a project to go and complete. And I said, name a charity to name. If that information is not there, you name it and Falcon will be here and I will send the money and show you the receipt. So the first thing you need to go do, to prove of me as if a liar or a truth. So you should not go tell me when it's changed.
Falcon, I do not have to do that. I do not have to do that. Falcon, here we are. Right now, we're going to, here we are. I gone for the stats. Give me the big box. Give me the big box, Falcon.
Can I get a minute, please?
Give me the big box. Give me the big
Can
box.
I get a minute with Jalix?
Hold on, you. I'm going to give the big box. Hold on. Remember him, man. I'm going to work with him. Let's begin the big box. So get in,
here is the data.
What
Here
data
is the data.
What data is that?
This is unemployment rate.
That's not what I asked for, Jalix.
Unemployment rate. I'm giving you unemployment
Jalix.
rate.
Well, I know. This is question that I'm This is what I asked for, Jalix. You're going to go over. Just listen. You're going to go over by starting and click employment. And you're going to click whatever here you want to click. You can't click much.
That is not important.
Jalix,
Right?
Jalix, shut your back
listen, whatever change took place.
Listen, just
Falcon,
listen.
Whatever
Just
change took place in 2024.
So
we can compare from 2024.
Now start to know. Come on.
Jalix alone a want someone. Not say Jalix alone a want.
All right, hold on. You, Blair, I can hear you. I can hear you. When you have to say.
In 2016, good afternoon, everybody. In 2016, foreign direct investment was $900+ million. To date, it has fallen by 60% to just over $300 million. Jalix said that unemployment is down to 3.5% now. I would want Jalix to tell the public, don't tell me, what are the new industries which came on stream since 2016 to push unemployment rate to?
He said tourism. Me asking that question already. He said tourism.
Based on what him just present. And remember, I previous
tourism. I'm said tourism.
Asking the question already. You said tourism.
It cannot be tourism.
And we've had business
outsourcing
as well. We've added upwards.
My
understanding is about 40,000 new jobs created in the business outsourcing industry since 2016.
Mute your mic.
Hold on.
Your question me ask you. Factual data. You're saying that tourism and all these industry grab bag of thing. Me not say a liar or a truth. Can you show us the actual number so we can look at it?
Now give the big box.
Show me number where you get your number from. Cause me, you, Mr. Blair, Uncle Dino no sense where you say nothing no go so. Show me number. That's all. We don't have to quarrel. Show me. And we prefer number from over starting. Show it over starting. Me mute me mic, me heal to you.
Jalix, you have the big box, huh? Is that a TKO? Hold on. Jolly Simpson now answer that question.
Because we can't go no further with the conversation. Time for
All
the
right.
say,
Hold on, Sim come up. Him now, Sim hold on, Sim come up. In a big box now. Come up now. What is that? Yeah, the box, Jolly. What is this? I don't know if I respond. I mean, I see my show the coach in SETI material. All right, same phone now. All right, Alex, go ahead and explain your answer now.
So I said go over by starting and show us a breakout. Starting of all like breakout with sector increase. We don't want that, Jalis. The number over starting. Actual number. You are showing me a summative report. I never asked you for a summative report. I asked you for the actual number. You said tourism grow 150,000 jobs. We want to see number. If a bread and breakfast, if a hotel, if a Airbnb, starting of all of that.
AI overview.
Can't do it. With the AI backside the AI being.
Maybe go do nobody let down the Prime Minister. Because one said this man, nobody let him know. Because this is very embarrassing. You have quote number you can't show where you get it from.
And I represent JLP.
You see, came on, I point out 6 to 7 points in which our economy can be grown, you know. And I asked Jalice a question, which are those?
I just said it a while ago. I said that we had massive expansion, over 5,000 rooms in tourism, right? Our earnings from tourism, in terms of visitor arrivals over the last 10 years, I think in 2016, how much would they know? I think we're about over 3.3 million. I think we were just over 2.5 or something. We've added significant capacity since 2016.
Show me figure
in tourism. Construction enjoyed an annual rate of growth of over 10% from 2017 all the way through COVID until about 2022, 2023 when it slowed down. The construction sector was booming, and we know that.
So we know that, 5,000 rooms.
Right?
Show me.
And also in terms of business outsourcing, we added in excess of 30,000 seats. We created close to about 40,000 jobs in business outsourcing between 2016 and now. Listen, that's the thing, you know. When the government does well, right? And the numbers are showing that the government does well and created a whole heap of jobs. You guys want to tear it down, right? It's the same thing you guys. It's the same thing you guys. You want to tear down. Anytime we mention that the government has brought the crime numbers down to under 600, and they start talking about, well, so much people don't kill. You guys do not want to hear that the government has solid achievements. For the first time in 30 years, murders are below 600. And now we are going to return the country to a murder rate that is going to be low. 1989, when the JLP was last in power. Under 500. We are now on pace to record under 500 murders for the first time in 30 years. That is what we should be celebrating. Talk to the thousands of hotel workers. Talk to the thousands of hotel workers that have benefited.
Every hotel strike last year, you forgot that. Every hotel
did not strike. There was
your government just announced that the crime situation was due to gang war. Which are the party? How much of the gangs have been assigned to parties? And how much of the gang belong to each party?
Your question.
How much of them are
what are you talking about? Listen,
how much of these gangs are affiliated with the party?
Let us not get into that, because we all know that if you're going to go down that road, there's a lot of of skeletons in the PNP's closet. Right now, they're prosecuting the Klansman gang. And please remember that it was a Klansman, is a Klansman investigation that uncovered that the JLP
no constituency of the PNP
paying off people in Spanish Town to keep the crime rate down. That the parish council was actively giving Klansmen criminals contracts to keep the crime rate down. So listen, don't go there.
We understand what you're saying. We understand. It was the constituency that PNP is in charge of.
That a person in his office was prosecuted for receiving guns coming into the country. So please don't start.
Stop.
Please don't start that. Don't let us go there about gangs and
let's not go there. Member of Parliament. Come on, the fire when the police came on the fire.
But Dino,
all right,
which constituency have stand up to the three major armed forces in Jamaica other from the JLP?
Please tell us why your party leader to go into Parliament and lie about the cost of water in Jamaica. Why?
Hello, you know that there are several families in Western Kingston can't locate a body, much less their family. You know much people in Western Kingston still mourning the life of their family that they can't find.
The Jamaican people. You know,
there is no comparison compared to what the JLP have done.
So that he can benefit from the water that he imports. Imagine you
Jalix, when was your
water? It's disgraceful.
When was the last time you buy a bottle of water?
Disgraceful.
Jalix, when was the last time you buy a bottle of water?
When was the last time you bought one of Mark Golin's imported water? It is an indictment.
I don't know which brand of the water belongs to Mark Golin.
Go up Blue Mountain and go bottle some water from Jamaica.
They say which of the brand of water belongs to Mark Golin?
Wood and water. It's
disgraceful. You tell me which of the brand of water, which brand of water in Jamaica belongs to Mark Golin.
Family, this man just said a while ago.
Falcon, this is rubbish, you know. You have to get control of the platform because
it is not rubbish, my brother.
You have to allow other person to speak as well. You're just talking over people.
All right, no, stop now. Hold on. Stop. Just stop. Daniel, go ahead and talk. So Daniel, officer. All right.
Western Kingston was the garrison that the JLP built. That's a community that they build that to become a garrison. A garrison of all garrison. The only constituency I've ever stand up against the three major armed forces in Jamaica is Western Kingston. You have never seen that before. We're talking about the security force of the country. So if we are going to go down into that, please, you're opening a can of worms.
All right. Jalix, now I ask you a question now. Is there any which proof you have some Mark Gold about water company? Jalix? Where's the proof that Mark Gold has a water?
Mark Gold has a company named Rerum, and they import water. They import bottled water into this country. I can show you a picture.
Rerum is a distributed company that distributes alcoholic drink.
Rerum also imports water, and I'm not asking. Rerum imports water, bottled water. Let me see if I can find. I'm going to find the picture.
What's the point?
I'm going to find that Mark Golin was being self-serving in the parliament. When Mark Golin went in the parliament and said that the government when he said that we should remove tax, when he said that we should remove GCT off water, he wanted to remove it.
I am pleased to be careful for you to call the opposition name into things that you have no information about. You maybe get a cease and desist or an injunction because remember Donovan sent out that to the public, so that's what we're
doing. It is absolutely true.
Where can we find that company?
Yes, Daniel.
Alex, you need to stop all of this nonsense. You need to stop all of this nonsense. Because if you're going to come here and accuse
Daniel, Mark Gold is really a shareholder in Rerum. Rerum as a
wait, Dino. Why we can do that, Dino, man? That's why Sydney have a war with you. Why we can do that, Dino, man?
They don't import
Dino,
water.
things where the man here on platform him and run with.
They're a distributor of drink, an alcoholic drink.
Yes, Dino is being fair. Daniel, you are trying to hide this fact.
Dino, my godfather. Sometimes you have to load them to make it sure. So I just run them around with things with them here. I just that me never want you to come out with that, Dino. Dino, we know that, Dino. It's just a shareholder and it's a minority when it comes on to shares.
It doesn't matter.
But I know what
invested in the company. You should never go into parliament and ask the government to remove GCP.
Right now, the Prime Minister and the Speaker is building out house.
It is scandalous.
And them around this house scam when it come on to land in Jamaica. What you talking about?
Hold on. Harder again. Hold on, Daniel. Hold on. Hold on, Sydney. Brat, you have an input? Brat?
Morning.
Yeah,
morning. You know what is very sad? Uncle Dino, Alvaro, Uncle Blair, they asked a series of questions that was more significant to the development of this country. Jalix had his input and he went on a rant. Uncle Dino, Uncle Blair, Alvaro said to him, bring your proof. Alvaro went as far as to say, go to statin. No, he went to AI and Alvaro said, no, I don't want that. Go to statin where the breakdown is there for everyone to see the different areas as to where the numbers meet together. And because Jalix was unable to produce that information, the man go downtown, him go Montego Bay,
get to the point quick.
Him God where Iran in the war, and now he's back here making accusations. Okay, Dino, you see, sometimes we must give a dog enough rope to hang himself. You should not.
No, call him a dog.
I'm not calling him a dog. It's just, don't get it wrong. I'm not calling him a dog. You must give people enough rope.
All right, him run gone. Right? I don't know what if I thump him back, but him run gone.
So, why may I tell you, man? He couldn't answer the question. And him, they're all over the place.
He's back.
He's all over the place. Him talk about gang this, gang that. Listen, right now, Rosalie mouth busting out. And she talking up a whole heap of things and them give her injunction for her to shut up, to not speak where the skeletons are.
No, I can't go back to the part where him Mark Golden own the water come here. This
right. Okay, so you should not have said anything at all. Let him say what is the name of the water brand. Please, nobody mash up the program because we want to know how the country has improved and how many rooms.
Brother, ask him that question, so give me the name of the brand of the water Mark Golden.
Right, but make him answer the question, them, Uncle Dino. Please, because I didn't know and I want to learn, so I can go and look for the information.
All right, Jalix. All right. People want to know the name of the company where.
Okay, just look on this for me, please. Look, give me the big box, please.
Jalix.
Okay, this is a picture. This is a picture. Can somebody remember? Can somebody please show identify that individual and look what is behind?
No, man, you are individual. Tell away, sir.
This is the representative, one of the PNP's representatives. Listen, allow me to, you guys asked me to provide my receipts. This is, listen, this is, what does the headline say? After beverage deal, re-rum hunting spotting $1 billion sales club. That is water at the back of the gentleman. This gentleman worked for Mark Golden's company. And this is re-rum selling water in Jamaica. This is an MP from St. Mary This
And
is
let me tell you,
an MP from
Jalix,
St. Mary's
Jalix, let me
that
tell you,
works
Jalix, that
with Mark
water,
Golding's
hold on,
company.
Jalix, that
So
water
please,
Jalix,
this
that
is
fertilizer.
imported water.
No.
This
That
is
water is
imported water
manufactured
that is brought
Galena
in
in St.
by
That water
rerun.
is manufactured in Galena, St. Mary. So you're a liar.
Thank you very much.
Galena in St. Mary.
Come off for the thing with the
Yeah, but respect the
liars.
man that was manufactured Galena said me.
Galena
Is
St.
that
Mary.
So when the prime minister, so when
no,
Mark
Jelex,
Golding
well, I know
went-
the man for something. The opposition says something.
what I said,
Look,
I don't know if
it's
that.
about the water,
My
it's
understanding,
Galena.
my understanding,
That was manufactured in Galena. Listen
my
to that. You have to listen.
understanding-
Jalix,
listen,
you have to listen.
let me
Listen,
finish.
listen,
Just
listen,
okay,
listen.
just let me.
No,
Okay,
but
I
you
heard
listen
what
and
he said.
respond
Let
to the
me
man.
respond now. I heard what he said.
Hold on. Is it
I
factual?
heard
Is
what
it
he
factual
said.
that this water was
It
manufactured in Galena?
does not matter whether or not it is imported or not. The reason for Mark Golding going to Parliament
Hear them
to
there.
ask for
All right. Them are rich. Hold on.
And Falca, you want a better job.
Them are restrict the page. Them are restrict the
The
page.
water has
Because
nothing
that
to do
have
with
it, them are
Mark
restrict the
Golding.
page.
Listen,
They are restricting the page. They are
Mr.
restricting the
Falcon.
page. Yeah, I'm saying they are
Falcon.
restricting the page. Hold on. Just hold on. Just relax. Please, people, could you please press F1 for them to restrict the page? Just press F1. Just type F1 and make answer it off. Just that now. Because I'm a restrict page. Just type up F1 and just speak. Yeah. Yeah, just type F1.
Mr. Sir, so what I'm saying, my information is different. But whether or not it is locally manufactured water or it's water that, just wait now. Let us say this now. Allow me to just say this. Allow me to say. Let me just finish. Allow whether or not it is. Allow me just allow me 30 seconds. Whether or not it is imported water or it is water that is bottled maker, it was very self-serving and a conflict of interest for Mark Golding to go into Parliament and ask a tax to be reduced on water.
Alex, I'm going to leave because you're running all over the place and you're like a drowning man.
It is a
stretching for a straw.
He should not do it.
You are running all over the place. The first thing you said, it's not imported water. No, you're going to say it doesn't really matter. What are you trying to do?
Hold on, Jalix. Can I get up?
This man is a liar. This man is a liar. He's a fabricator.
But Daniel, I can give more on that water. The water
Because he just hear about this company that Mark Golding is involved in. But he have no concrete information to say, I can come and tell you that Mark Golding have such amount of shares. How many shares Mark Golding have in the company?
Well, we not talk about the shares of the company now.
Dina, that's why I never wanted to
immaterial.
The water has
it's immaterial.
Make him talk.
You see, you want to mislead the country. You don't want the people to know that Mark Golding invests in a water company.
You see,
that is spurious.
After the GCT, if you come out fight,
hold on, let me get something clear.
It is a conflict of interest.
The water
is corruption.
No. So the house is
corruption.
The house is Andrew Olin's bill and his wife and a conflict of interest.
Aye. I'm not conflict of interest.
How is that conflict of interest? How is that conflict? He's not asking.
All the water becomes conflict of interest.
Listen, he's not asking the government to give him any retrieval of taxes. Mark Golding is doing that.
But Mark Andrew Olin's has the
Prime Minister has been Prime Minister everything for him houses.
He has been invading the taxes.
Actually, I'm in a business who wants me to make them mash up my program. They're not mashing up my program. If JLX the political attack, it causes a conversation. So only can hear when I feed them belly and then hear when I phone the belly. It's not mashing up the conversation, it's not mashing up the platform. Everybody attack and I must clear up something. So I allow him to talk. It's unfair. I not give him a chance to talk. I have to give him a chance to talk. So when I talk about mash up the platform. I'm not mashing up the platform. He might take part in the conversation. Remember, I said about 7 people in him. Just give him a chance. Go ahead.
The first time you came up, you was adamant that Mark Golding imported water. Dino point out to you a while ago that those water are manufactured in Galena in St. Mary.
I am not taking Dino's my information is that water is imported. That's
no, I don't want your
you know where we got that from? You know where we got that information? You know where we got that information from? From a gentleman that worked at Rerum. A former
No,
caretaker for Central Kingston
you
told
get
us
it
that
from
he
Lawrence
imports
Road.
water.
You get it from
Yes.
Lawrence Road.
From the horse's mouth that the water is imported. The water is imported. It's imported water. It's not no locally manufactured water. It is scandalous.
You don't give me a chance to speak, Alex.
It is scandalous.
Let me tell you more about the water.
Alex.
I have a question for.
All right, hold on.
I have one question, and I mute my mic. One question. I'm going to ask the People's National Party. Given that it has been shown that the policies put forward by the PNP that we should not take the $11 billion, and they would find some other way to this, and all of that has been shown that it could not work for the next 2 financial years. Please tell me why the PNP want the government, the country, to go back and borrow $29 million.
All right, that's a question. That's a question.
The budget was not.
The budget. That's a question. That's a question.
Mute the mic. Mute the mic.
Mute him, man. Go on.
Okay,
all right. Question.
Hold on. Before me answer your question, I go ask you, what component of this present 1.47 trillion budget is borrowed loans? What component?
Answer him question now. Answer him question, okay? I have to answer him question.
Jalix is saying that it is proved.
What's your portion? The portion?
Well, no, man, Jalix. Let me have to mute again, man. Relax, man. The man, get a chance. Go and talk you.
Ask my question.
Hold on, brother.
Let me answer him. I can answer him.
Hold on, man.
Hold on, Jalix. Let me get a chance, man.
You asked the question that it was proven that what the PNP proposed, which include borrowing a portion of the $18 billion to help to fund the budget. Right? That's what you said, you know. And I in turn ask you the question now, what percentage of the present budget is borrowed, whether loan from the IDB, the World Bank, or the International Monetary Fund?
All right, Jalix, time for respond. Jalix, will respond, people. Jalix, your time. Respond to it.
Right. So total borrowing in this year's budget, I think, is 230 something billion. Out of that figure, the new borrowing to cover the deficit between tax revenue and expenditure, I think the new borrowing is $90 billion. The remainder of about 146 billion is service the interest on the debt.
Have a conversation. Stop right there.
So I think it's about $90 billion of.
All right, stop. All right.
How much money did the PNP propose to borrow? Is it $230 billion?
Am I respond?
Allow me. Am I respond? The PNP's proposal was to borrow, I think it was about 8 point something or $10 billion, something in that region. Some like the remainder was for borrowing between 10 and 12 billion. However, when a part of the PNP's budget was to get.
You just make him finish. You make him finish.
Let me finish.
Just make him finish.
You asked the question. A part of the man. You said that you were going to get the money from the Nomads program and from the invoicing system. None of those are viable for these 2 years. So the PNP would not have to go and borrow all of that money. They would have to go borrow the $11 billion.
Come in again.
The $8 billion.
All right. To respond.
Alex, hold on. You see, when time we are going to put forward an argument, you put forward that the PNP is going to go back to borrowing, even though the amount was 8 to 12 billion based on your calculation. And you did not say to the listeners that the government to finance this budget is borrowing $240 billion. So are you saying that the government is not borrowing any money to put to the budget, a budget of $1.47 trillion, where 1.37
let him respond on you. Let him respond.
Hold on, finish it. 1.37 trillion is for recurring expenditure, and only $90 billion is for capital project. So what's the point? What's the borrowing point you want to put forward now?
All right, so let me respond to that. First of all, as I said, Hugh, when the opposition spokesman, when he spoke, his thing was that he was going to borrow about 10 or 12 billion. However, now that we understand, as I said, that they were saying that they were not going to take the money out of the NHT. And in addition, know that some of the financing options that they've put forward, which is the invoicing system and the nomads thing, it has now been shown that those could not come on stream and deliver any of the revenue that they spoke about for 2 years. They would have to now go borrow the money where the shortfall that they would have because of the nomads and the invoicing system. So now it would be more like $25 billion that they would have to borrow. And we do not have to do it because we right now, we do not want to be adding to the stack of debt and put back the debt to GDP rate at 89%. That is what would happen if we go along with the PNP. That is what got us into this problem. That is what got us in. It's not 8 billion anymore. That's what I'm saying. It's not 8 billion anymore. Because it is not 8 billion. It's about 29 billion that we have to borrow.
Arrangement. Because listen, you have already borrowed $230
it's not
billion.
8 billion. You're not listening. It's not 8 billion. It will be about 25.
Hold on. Don't answer
it's not 8 billion. It will be about 25. You're not listening.
Hold on, Jalix. Let me say something. Why do you? What you say?
The People's National Party want to replace the money which you would have taken from the National Housing Trust. And the PNP government would in turn invest the $11.5 billion in housing in the economy in order to spur growth in the economy.
Hugh, that's nonsense. Because the
win-win for the people of Jamaica and the government of Jamaica. Because what percentage of 8 billion in comparison to 200 billion that you want to put borrowing up front and talk about going back to debt and going back to loan? When you already borrowing $230 billion and you will borrow more money because there will be 2 to 3 supplementary estimate during this budget cycle. Because majority of the money which is budgeted is for recurrent expenditure, housekeeping, and to pay salaries and things like those.
Let me respond to that, please. This whole thing about this $11 billion, the NHT, the $11 billion that is been taken from the NHT does not affect the investments that the NHT is making right now. It doesn't affect it. And there is no the government could not take $11 billion and spend it in one financial year in housing right now, because you have to plan housing, you have to get contractors. It could not happen. So what the government is doing already is significant from the NHT into housing. It's 42,000 housing solutions that are currently under construction. So that notion that this 11 billion. And let me just finish the point. Remember, they are not going to. Let me just finish 30 seconds. So the PNP would not take $11 billion from the NHT. They have to find that. Them invoicing system, we need to fill a gap of $18 billion. The invoicing system for $8 billion is not possible this year. The Nomads program would not be possible this year. They would have to now go and borrow roughly about $20 billion to fill the gap in the budget. I remember you have to borrow that $20 billion next year again. You have to borrow next year and the year after.
Come in, King something.
Just a love.
Yeah, man.
Respect for the idea we have put out information, and where a lot of people don't.
King, jump to the point, please, fast. Jump to the point. People want that. Yeah, man.
We have a problem in Jamaica, Falcon. We have a problem in Jamaica.
But so much people want that.
We have a problem in Jamaica, and lying are one of them, right? Lying are one of the problem we have in Jamaica, and thieving is a one of the problem we have in Jamaica. And when people are give figures, Then we get accurate figures we can get for make sure say it will help the people in Jamaica. See?
Yeah, man, good point.
When things come on board where them are tell us they want how much $1 billion for the country. And when you look and say how much of that money they will go in a direct investment in the country for help to build the country. I will ask the question, which part of the money there we are going to build the country? Which part of the money we are going to reinvest back in the people of Jamaica? The money we did give the other day to invest back in the people where they say are the money we're supposed to help the people. Me not see which party help the people because even right now, people are suffering because the money we're supposed to come and help the people is not doing it. So when this brethren come and just I say, to my experience and to where I know and to where I know, all of them something are not help I. Because at the end of the day, when they come at East Portland and talk about say, they might get $20 million. We don't know what that I go do when they might get more than that for them pay. And all of the people them about this nastiness. When I help the people, when them a thief, them a thief the NHT money, you know. Them a thief the money and I put in them pocket. Just like what the system say, you see the money that we then thief, when them a talk about they want 1.4 by $1.5 million out of cut out. I thief the people.
You have any question? You have any question you want to put to Jalix?
No, you mad put question too. No, brother.
All right, cool then. All right.
All right, here's the thing about it, right?
All right, Colin, go ahead.
Yeah. Jalix, now listen up because Jalix said the PNP would have to borrow 25 billion, right? You said the JLP currently is borrowing 200 and something billion. Jalix, in your mindset and your maths, out of 20 billion and 200 plus billion, which one is more? In Jalix?
Well, Jalix?
Colin.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Colin. Additional borrowing.
Jalix, you know, answer the question now. Jalix, answer.
All right, Jalix, the man, why you answer the question? Him same way you answer. You have to straight to something different.
Colin is being disingenuous. I'm talking about additional borrowing.
Jalix, specific
Jalix, just answer the question.
No, listen, that is a
in the essence of time,
question.
just answer a question.
That is
the essence of time, just answer a question.
That is a complete nonsense question. What is happening here, as I said, the government would have to borrow an additional 18 to 20 billion. If
Falcon. No, man, Falcon. No. You can't respond yes or no, bro. Get too much time to talk, bro. Every minute you get
go on, Colin.
All right, I'm stop now. Go ahead, Advocate.
So the question is, Jalix, out of 20 billion and 200 and something billion, which one is more?
What kind of question that is? A dumb question. What is that? The
government is going
to borrow the 20 billion.
We want to know why it's dumb.
Listen, I don't understand his question. We know that the government
if you're not
programmed into its budget.
Jalix. If you say my question dumb and you don't understand it, then what that make you?
All right, explain the question because we don't understand what you're asking.
All right, you said, right, the PNP would have to borrow $20 billion, right, to fill the budget.
No, additional borrowing. 20 billion additional.
Right. Okay, 20 billion
to
additional.
what the government is. Yes,
listen to what I'm
saying,
brother man.
Program to borrow.
Why you not answer the question.
Stop, Jalix. Okay.
So they would have to borrow 20 billion additional, right? While the JLP is borrowing 200 plus billion additional. Which one is more?
No, it's not additional. Listen, all right, let me explain, please.
Not additional.
Give me a second. Give me a second, please. Let me just.
All right. Hold on. Wait a second. Advocate, wait a second. Advocate, wait a second.
Let me address.
Listen up.
We can get a minute.
No.
Hold on, man. Let's get back the minute.
Every time somebody else talk, you want a minute. Allow somebody else, because you only use your perspective. You're gonna try to screw this into your perspective.
Give somebody else another chance to talk now.
Go on, the man, talk, no, brother. Come back now.
Yeah.
Sid,
All right, Alex, so where did I say now? Yeah, your second for talk.
So let's explain this whole thing. All right. So the government has programmed in its budget that is going to borrow.
Not understand, sir.
230 odd $billion.
Alex, you know the amount of borrowing is $290 million.
All right, it's 290.
Go on, check the information.
Obviously, me drop it, me make a mistake by there. 290. I know it was 200 and so. All right, so 290. Okay, $290 million in borrowing. A portion of that. Billion. Yes, I think out of that, 90 billion out of that is borrowing to fill a gap in the budget. The remainder of that is for interest on the loan, and if they're going to float new bonds to replace old bonds. So we know that they're going to be borrowing that already, right? That is programmed in the budget that Faval Williams read. Okay.
No.
All right.
Alex,
yes. Let me listen. Let me say my wrong thing first.
Go ahead.
Let me say my wrong thing. Afterwards, you can say. So the government already programmed all of that in. So part of the reason, so to stick to that 290 billion, the government said, okay, we have to raise some taxes, right? We need to raise some taxes, and we need to raise taxes to the tune of 29 to $18 billion for this financial year. So they came with some taxes to raise the additional revenue to close a gap in the budget, right? Okay. The opposition, so they put on the tax on the sweet drinks and blah 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 blah. The opposition came and said, listen, we do not want to raise any of the taxes, and we would not take the money out of NHT, and we're going to do the nomads thing, and we're going to do the electronic thing and collect the taxes that we're not getting. And it has been shown that those cannot get the revenue. The revenue cannot come from that over the next 2 years because it's going to take time to implement, which means that the opposition's budget would have a hole of $18 billion right now as it stands that cannot be filled. The only place they're going to have to borrow an additional $18 billion on top of what the government is borrowing already.
Alex, hold on. Here's the point that you're missing. If the opposition had made this budget, they would have made it differently, right? The opposition is making the opposition budget, right? So if the opposition was there making the government budget, it would have been made differently. So therefore, whatever the opposition said they're going to put in, it would have already been put in. You get what I'm saying?
As all I'm saying, no, all I'm
saying, hold on,
you're not.
Hold on, Alex. You said me not to interrupt you now. So I have to hold on. So therefore, right now, if the government come in with their budget and the opposition is countering their proposal and saying that you instead of doing that, you could have done this, right? That simply means that the opposition, instead of raising the taxes for more people, the opposition would have been putting the mechanism to collect taxes from rich people. You see? So that mechanism would already been there. So what you're saying is not totally correct.
No, I don't agree with what you said a while ago. The fact is, the opposition said that they would not. They said the opposition said that it would not take the money out of the NHT. They must go find the $11 billion. Right? They'd have to find the $11 billion. They said that they would actually increase borrowing rather than go to taxes. They would actually increase borrowing. That's a fact. That is what the opposition spokesman said. They said to fill the gap in the budget, they would go increase borrowing, which means that they would have to borrow over right now. They'd have to borrow an additional $20-odd billion to fill the gap. That would be vacated by the. Let me just finish.
No, you can't.
You have to give people time to
They
talk. You
would,
can't just say.
they would have to go borrow it. When they gonna get it? They said they are not going to tax. So the only place that they could get the funding if they're not going to borrow it.
Bro, man, you're going like a loan one time. Brad want to say something.
Thanks, everyone. You know, I hear Jalix with this thing about borrowing more money. But let me ask this question. We're borrowing all this money to prop up the budget, but the money keeps on going missing. Education Ministry under this government is $902 billion gone unaccounted for. Health, $695